SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The free agent frenzy, it's not disappointing, although Twitter did earlier today.
It sure did, but all this really started yesterday.
Yep.
Man, I'm sitting at home. My phone just starts blowing up with all kinds of stuff, and it was nuts. Just fun.
Yeah, well, and that's what it's all about. As expected, the Cowboys have just had subtractions, no additions, really, to speak of. I think the biggest surprise is Jordan Lewis. And congrats to J. Lou, because I was reading something last week that they thought his market was going to be $5 to $6 million a year, and he gets basically 10 a year. Now he's got to go to Jacksonville, but good for him. But man, that's a tough loss for the Dallas Cowboys.
Boy, that is a big loss for them. There's no doubt, and that creates another hole for them to fill in that defensive backfield that they're going to have to deal with. I'm really surprised, and maybe that's a number that Jerry just wasn't willing to go to. But, boy, you got to keep that guy, don't you?
Well, I mean, not at that number, and I guess the answer is no. And you never know how these things work out. If they knew what the Cowboys' offer was and Jacksonville says this, and if you're thinking you're only going to get this and now this is in front of you, you're saying yes. You're saying
Absolutely
yes right away.
You are. Yes, absolutely you are. I don't blame him at all, and I don't care where it is. Jacksonville or Timbuktu, it doesn't make any difference. They're going to pay me $30 million, and I'm gone. I'm out.
Gone.
Yeah.
Gone. And keeping track of where the quarterbacks are going. So Justin Fields, 2 years, $40 million. 2 years, $40 million, 30 guaranteed with the New York Jets. Sam Darnold is now with the Seattle Seahawks. No surprise after the Seahawks Friday, just as soon as we go off the air, work out a trade to send him to reunite with Pete Carroll and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, that was this weekend has been nuts. Just all of this stuff breaking and trades made. I don't know. I mean, maybe we say this every year, but this is about the most active the first part of this has been. And then even before that, the appetizer, all the trades that were taking place. So a lot of activity in the NFL.
Yeah, well, and again, lots of activity. You look at it, and as expected. And as expected, I don't think any of us are thinking that the Cowboys would be players at this point in any kind of a Tier 1 type. End of the week, maybe the Tier 2 types, which is what you expected, except for Micah Parsons. At what point do we see something get done with Micah Parsons? Will it be sooner? Will it be later? And that's changing. I mean, Myles Garrett's deal changes a lot for Micah Parsons. His reaction on Twitter with the WTF. I mean, you might say you don't need 40, but again, all these guys want to make a nickel more than the last guy.
Well, they do, and that changes everything. It's not just Micah Parsons. You got to figure what's Jamar Chase thinking now.
Yep.
I mean, when he sees that Myles Garrett deal, it changes life for a lot of people. The question is going to be how high are the Cowboys willing to go for Micah Parsons? I mean, if you're talking about $41 million a year now, how much farther are they willing to go? I mean, that's the question you got to ask.
Well, and does bring up something that you have been championing for a long time. Do you trade him? And what could you get for him? If you don't think you could pay him. Now, I saw Stephen A. Smith earlier today talking about exactly that. Can you have a Dak, a CD, and a Micah Parsons making that kind of money? And the answer is you can. I look at Philadelphia. You look at other teams that have high-priced guys. The good news is Dak is no longer the highest-paid quarterback in the NFL. So you can't say that anymore because that is now Josh Allen, right?
Sure.
CD is not the highest paid wide receiver, and, the way the market is going, he's going to look underpaid here in about 3 weeks, which is kind of comical.
It is kind of comical, but that's the way that it goes when you sign, and the way salaries are spiraling up. My goodness.
Well, and you look at like the whole Josh Allen deal. For Josh Allen to redo his deal with 4 years left on his deal is, one, good for Buffalo for saying, you know what, this ain't right. And let's tear this one up and give you something of your current market value. Also knowing that if they were to wait, it's only going to cost them more in the long run. You wonder at what point, you got 4 years left on a deal. They do this new deal, which puts them at about, $55 million per year from signing, which is just north of Dak Prescott, who's at 53.8, just north of Lamar, who's at 52.5.
Dak is at 60, is he not?
Well, it's in how you look at it. This article here says the value from signing, and you average it out, what's your signing bonus, your APY. All that really matters is what's going in your bank account.
Well, he's got, $250 million guaranteed.
Yep.
Josh Allen. So that's what's important. He knows he's got that no matter what. So, look, if I'm Buffalo, you want to keep Josh Allen, best quarterback in the league, certainly one of them, right there behind Patrick Mahomes. You can't blame him. You got your quarterback locked up for a long time.
Well, that's it. And again, the craziness of trying to figure out what teams are doing. Like, I can't figure out the Seattle Seahawks. Are they going into a tank rebuild mode, or are they trying to reload on the fly? Well, they give a quarterback $100 million and Sam Darnold over 3 years. They trade away DK Metcalf. They let Tyler Lockett go. They still have some receivers there. They still have two good running backs. I can't tell I can't really tell what Seattle is trying to do. I mean, Sam Darnold and Geno Smith are kind of the same guy. Sam's a little bit younger, but he's had one good year. At least with Geno, you're consistently going to be in the fight, but can you put enough around him to make Geno better?
Well, that's it, and I think the Raiders can with Geno Smith. Geno is a quality quarterback, and he's just a guy that I like Geno Smith, but he is getting a little long in the tooth, right? I think Sam Darnold, the way the Seahawks look at it, he's a younger guy, and if they're the same as you say, then you shaved about 5 years off of your quarterback, and then you can try and be with him for a little bit and build around him. I think Seattle, you look at what the Rams did, and you look at that division, and I think you got to try and do something. The Rams have to be considered the class of that division, do they not? When they add the pieces they did, they keep their quarterback. You still got San Francisco to deal with. What are they going to do? Arizona, who knows? And then you got the Seahawks. So it's going to be a tough division.
Yeah, well, you look at it, I guess the wild card question is the San Francisco 49ers, right? What does San Francisco ultimately do with Brock Purdy and fill out their roster? But to your point, I think the Rams are probably best positioned, but I'm never really comfortable saying the 49ers don't have a chance because they're San Francisco. I don't know what to make of Arizona. Are they on the rise, or was last year just a better year than the year before, but are they going to fall back?
Yeah, who knows?
Right? So, the Rams making sure Stafford is there, adding in Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
I would say right now the Rams would be the clubhouse leader in the NFC West, but I don't know that I'm ready to write off San Francisco just yet.
Well, don't ever write off San Francisco because you got to figure McCaffrey's going to come back healthy. They do still have Ayuk, at least for now. I've heard reports that they may want to get rid of him too, but it's going to be a tough division, I think. But look, I think Sam Darnold is a good fit for Seattle. I think that's fine, and they paid him about what I thought they would, right? About 30, what is that average? About $33 million a year, something in that range. And so I think that's about right. That's about a Baker Mayfield type of deal, right? So that's about right. I get that. So they didn't overpay for him. It's good for Sam Darnold. He's got an opportunity now. Minnesota can move on with McCarthy, and I think that's a good deal for everybody. And I think Geno Smith will be good with the Raiders.
And Bills signing wide receiver Josh Palmer to a 3-year, $36 million deal. So that is giving another weapon to Josh Allen.
It really is, and they needed another weapon.
Yep.
They needed another wide receiver, so that helps Buffalo. They're aggressive. They're being aggressive. A lot of teams are, and so far, well, the Cowboys aren't.
Well, I mean, now the Cowboys did take care of some of their guys. We'll go over the pieces and parts.
Yeah.
You know, the sides, the appetizers, but you got to have a long snapper, and they do.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's there.
He's there.
Back.
He's there. We'll talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, especially if you need caps done. Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112-style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. If you need T-shirts, screen printed, go see Sam. He's got all the big-name brands for your shirts. If you need it on a nice golf shirt, your logo, a fishing shirt, a dress shirt, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big-name brands, and he's the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big. All items do come with a warranty. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Made in America. Highest quality. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com. With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. That's exactly what I did. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. I believe Twitter is working again, so you could tweet at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. The station at SA Sports Star. It was a bit of a nightmare earlier when Twitter wasn't working.
Yeah, it sucks when that happens. I know the NFL was upset about that, but I'm glad it is because things breaking all over the place. Josh Sweat is now an Arizona Cardinal, signs a 4-year, $76.4 million deal with the Cards.
The hell of a deal.
Yeah, not bad.
You know, so you look at, I mean, the Cowboys have lost one, and a big one in Jordan Lewis, one that I thought should be a priority to bring back. Although seeing the deal that Jordan Lewis got from Jacksonville, I'm not surprised Jerry let him walk. I'm not. That's almost double what the projected market was reportedly going to be for J. Lou. You know, at $5 to $6 million, and basically he's getting 10. I mean, good for Jordan Lewis.
That's great for Jordan Lewis. Now, what are the Cowboys going to do for defensive backs?
Well, they certainly have to go find one. Charvarius Ward, Dre Greenlaw are also rumored to be targets of the Dallas Cowboys. They did sign, let's see, C.J. Goodwin gets a 1-year deal. Trent Sieg, the long snapper, gets a 3-year, $4.45 million deal that includes $3 million guaranteed. And Marquise Bell, the safety, he re-signs on a 3-year deal worth up to $12 million.
Mm-hmm. So they've done some work, I guess. It's just everything's happening so fast, and it just seems like the Cowboys are just kind of there, not doing anything. But we'll see how it plays out. It is just day one.
That's it. It's not even really officially
it's not
day
even
one.
Day one, right?
It's day one of the tampering period. We're just a couple of hours into this, and I really and again, I know who I'm talking about in Jerry Jones. Jerry could surprise us all and get a deal done with Micah Parsons, either a deal done or a trade done. Do something with Micah Parsons, and you can approach free agency without the handcuffs that Jerry has put on himself like he did last year. And with the amount of money that he already has invested in a quarterback and in a wide receiver, a defensive back that likely isn't going to play, or not anytime soon, and in Diggs, who's now, number 9 on the defensive back pay scale? I mean, he's dropped almost out of the top 10, but it's still a big number for a guy that's hurt right now. The one time you paid a guy early, and granted, because of injuries, it hasn't worked out, but Jerry's got to be thinking a little buyer's remorse on that contract because that's one that he did early. He gets all the credit for signing a guy early, although it has bit him in the ass.
Yes, it has. And maybe that's why Jerry's a little gun-shy.
Yep.
Right? You got that one, and you had his Zeke Elliott. After he got his big contract, his career just started to roll downhill after that. Maybe Jerry's thinking, man, that just doesn't work out too well to sign these guys. And you let them walk.
I mean, injuries are a part of the game.
They are.
And
with Zeke, that wasn't the case, though.
No. But you look at signing guys at the right time, doing it the right way. And every team has dealt with it. You sign a guy and then they're hurt forever. Cleveland, hello, Deshaun Watson.
Uh-huh.
It's like Myles Garrett. And the Myles Garrett, I can't say we're surprised. You can't be surprised because it's always all about the money. I remember that very lovely thing he put on social media where he didn't want to go to just to Cleveland to get to Canton, that he wanted to go chase a ring, that it was about winning, that it was about, well, you're going to give me how much? Where's the pen?
Uh-huh.
Because it's always all about the money.
Well, sure it is. But look, to his defense, Cleveland was like top 5 defensively last year, weren't they?
Uh-huh.
I mean, their defense is pretty damn good. And when you keep him around, that defense is pretty damn good. All Cleveland really lacks is a quarterback. They just haven't been able to find one. If they can convince Nick Chubb to stick around, that's a question mark for them. But I think they've got a decent team, but they need a quarterback, and they just have not been able to find one.
And you wonder, where's that quarterback going to come from? You know, with the available quarterbacks already spoken for, with the exception of who? Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers.
Jeez.
Am I missing somebody? Those are the two biggest name quarterbacks that are available.
The biggest name, yeah, and it looks like Aaron Rodgers may have a one-way ticket to Pittsburgh.
And again, if you're Pittsburgh has had, I don't know, one of the top overall rosters for how many years in a row?
Well, they've just made the playoffs how many years in a row?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but just solid team up and down.
Yeah.
Right? I still don't know how in the hell the Cowboys beat them last year. But Pittsburgh has had everything but a quarterback. They've got running backs, they've got receivers, they've got great defensive players. They don't have a quarterback. Can Aaron Rodgers do for Pittsburgh what Tom Brady did for Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay was the same way when Brady showed up. Man, we've got it all figured out but the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they tried it with Russ. That didn't work. Could they try it with Aaron Rodgers? And would that be the difference for the Pittsburgh Steelers to finally break through in the postseason?
Well, a couple of things there. Brady was a hell of a lot better teammate than Aaron Rodgers is. That's one thing.
Here we go.
And number two, Brady was head and shoulders better than Aaron Rodgers. So there's number two. Look, if Pittsburgh wants to do that, if they think he's the missing piece, then by all means do it. But I wouldn't touch that guy with a 10-foot pole.
Well, again, if you're Pittsburgh, what is the better option at quarterback right now? I mean, Justin Fields is now with the New York Jets. And apparently they wanted Justin, but Justin didn't want Pittsburgh if he wasn't going to be the guaranteed starter. Right? The Giants are still looking. What, are they going to bring in Daniel Jones and think that's going to be better?
Could be. I mean, that's a possibility. I'm not saying it's better by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a possibility. Look, it just depends on what you want to do. If you're Pittsburgh and you bring in Aaron Rodgers, you know that's a Band-Aid.
Sure.
A year, maybe 2 years, perhaps, at the very most. You're not going to get anything else out of that, so you're still going to need to get a quarterback somewhere. Do you draft a guy? Do you sign an Aaron Rodgers and then draft a guy to sit behind Aaron for a year or two? I guess that's a possibility, but it's a Band-Aid at most. And it could be a really bad one. You rip it off, it rips the scab right off, it starts bleeding all over the place, gets infected.
Oh.
I mean, it's just, and then you got to cut the leg off.
Amputee.
Cut the leg off, and it's a disaster waiting to happen.
And this is to Pittsburgh, right?
Yes.
Let it happen.
Let it happen.
In all seriousness, though, I mean, you start looking at, unless there's some sort of trade that could be in the works. Like, I was surprised that Jarrett Stidham went back to Denver to be a backup.
Yeah.
Because I thought he would be one of those guys that could end up as a starter somewhere, or at least be able to compete for a starter's job somewhere. You know, Andy Dalton has already re-signed to be a backup in Carolina. So depending on, what was in middle school, the game of musical chairs where you're running out of chairs and somebody's standing. Like, there's going to be one of those quarterbacks that are still standing when all the quarterback jobs are filled. And you just wonder, at least projected starters, who that's going to be. because now you're running out of real options. Who's your guy in Tennessee? Will Levis?
Will Levis, yeah.
Does Will Levis get traded? Dude, we're going to draft somebody. You're out. What are they doing in Indianapolis? Could they move on from there? Because now with the rookie contracts, what they are for quarterbacks, if you don't have the guy, it's a lot easier to get out of it. Ask Chicago with Justin Fields, and Justin Fields proved today that team moving on from you earlier doesn't mean your life is over. He just got $30 million guaranteed.
That's not a bad thing to do. Look, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. Brock Purdy, would San Francisco maybe put him on the trade block before they have to pay him? Is that a possibility for somebody? I'm telling you, the way things are going in the NFL, I wouldn't put it, and nothing would surprise me today if something like that happened. I don't know if San Francisco wants to pay Brock Purdy $55, $60 million a year. I'm not sure they do.
Well, the answer is no, they don't. The question is, will they?
That's it.
I mean, because they could already have had it done. And here you go from Mr. Irrelevant to the success that he has had. You would think of all these guys, you would say he has earned it. But if you're the brain trust in San Francisco, is he really the guy? Is he the difference maker? I mean, this is an organization that moved away from a Jimmy Garoppolo that led his team to a Super Bowl because they felt like he wasn't necessarily the guy. He was a byproduct of the players that were around him. Well, now you don't have a Debo. You don't have as strong of a team. Last year, they didn't make the playoffs. And now you've got a quarterback saying, what's the top of the market? I'm next. And they're saying, sorry, dude.
Sorry, we're not going to pay you that. And, I don't know what Brock Purdy's going to do or what he's going to command or want to command. Obviously, he's going to want to make as much as he possibly can. But would he take a $50 million a year deal with San Francisco to stay there? Or if you trade a guy like that to Pittsburgh, for example, would he take a more, I don't know, I say team-friendly deal, and he's not going to be any worse for the wear. But, I mean, look, it wouldn't surprise me if San Francisco is shopping this guy, knowing that they're going to have to open up the bank account and pay him. I think Brock Purdy is a fine quarterback. He's a good quarterback. And as long as he's got some help around him, he can be a winner. I mean, he's proven it. So somebody might be interested in a guy like Brock Purdy. Is it San Francisco or is it somebody else?
Well, again, you just who can fit what under the cap and go from there. Mm-hmm. It is crazy when you start looking at all the numbers. And again, this is what Jerry and Steven are looking at today. I mean, Myles Garrett's deal does complicate the Micah Parsons deal because last week, where were we at? 37, 38?
Well, you were at 35.5
for Micah.
I mean, that was the deal that what Max Crosby got, right? Yep. 35.5. So you're looking at 36.
Yeah, 36, 38, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on Micah. He said he didn't necessarily need that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
But now is the floor now 40?
I think it has to be. And again, it's not just the Cowboys that have to deal with that. Anybody else that's signing anybody that's not a quarterback has got to look at that. Jamar Chase. Cincinnati's got to be pissed off.
Yep.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is going, what the hell? Cleveland again?
Yeah, it's always Cleveland.
USOBs.
Always
Would you stop
Cleveland.
doing that? I don't know. It just got crazy and got wild. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Cowboys do. And again, if you're Micah Parsons, and we all want to blame Jerry, but if you're Micah Parsons, you're seeing what's going on, why the hell are you in any hurry to sign anything? I mean, seriously.
I mean, in a lot of ways. And look, we blame Jerry, and you're right. Dak's deal, Dak could have signed, and Jerry has said it too many times in front of Dak Prescott. Yeah, Dak was the holdup there because Dak knew he was going to get more if he waited. CD knew he was going to get more if he waited. We all talk about, CD, what did he end up with? But it could have been 28, 29, somewhere in there at the beginning. And he's got to be willing to sign it. But also it tells me that he wasn't wowed by the offer because you know it. His agent certainly knows it. The player knows it. Jerry knows it. Like today, if I wait, it's going to be this. This is what the projections are. Give me the projection today. Give me close to the projection.
That's it.
And you got a deal. That's generally how it's done. The projections. Jerry waits for real, and it costs him more money. And it's already cost him with Micah. It already has, because Micah is going to be, at least for 8 minutes, the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. In something, whether it's guaranteed money, annual per year, signing bonus. And keep in mind, David Mulugeta is Micah's agent. Mulugeta likes his name in the news for securing those kind of deals, kind of like the Deshaun Watson deal. You look at Myles Garrett's agent. She likes getting those kind of deals done that way. So Mulugeta's not going to let his client sign for less. And quite frankly, the Players Association doesn't like it when guys take less, because that hurts everybody else in the union.
It does. And look, I want to appeal to every Cowboy fan out there, whether you're listening on YouTube, you're in your car, you're on an app, whatever it is. How much is too much money for Micah Parsons? Or is there a number that's too much in your mind for a Micah Parsons? I want to know what you think. I really do, because to me, there's a limit for this guy. He's a great player. Is he as good as Myles Garrett? No, he's not. But he's going to get paid more than Myles Garrett. He certainly doesn't have the resume of a Myles Garrett. Not yet. Myles Garrett's got some years on him. But in my mind, if I had a choice, Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, I'm probably taking Garrett.
You would take the older player.
I would.
I don't know about that.
Micah Parsons wears out in the fourth quarter. Happens all the time. When do you see that happen with Myles Garrett? It doesn't.
Yeah, well, how often do you watch Cleveland games?
Well,
the reality, whether you're talking about a Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson out of Cincinnati, Micah Parsons, all of them are great defenders. T.J. Watt, you could argue who's better, who's got this sack number, that sack number, who's getting double teamed, who's getting triple teamed, but none of those guys have had any kind of success in the postseason when it matters most.
That's true. And you're absolutely right. They haven't. I would say Myles Garrett has had a pretty good defense. He just has lacked a quarterback. When you look at the Cowboys, they had a good team. Then they've had some good teams. It was especially that 23 team that lost to Green Bay that Micah was a part of. Now, I'm not blaming Micah for that loss. That was a team loss.
Everybody was bad that day.
But it's the fact of the matter is, I just don't know. I'm just asking for a friend. How much is too much for Micah Parsons? You're a Cowboys fan. I mean, how high would you go to keep Micah Parsons in the fold?
Friday, I would have said 37.
Well, today you're looking at least 41.
Well, I didn't pay J. Lou. So I got some extra dollars that were earmarked for him that can now go to Micah Parsons. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You want to talk about what's going on in free agency? What do you want to see Jerry and the Cowboys do? It's going to be one of those fun kind of Mondays here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Guys, as we get older, you got to start taking care of your health better. Maybe you're feeling a lack of energy, strength. Maybe you're a little bit moody. Your libido isn't what it used to be. All of these could be caused by low testosterone. Go get tested at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Their patient-first VIP experience is fast and easy. And I recommend the providers at Synergenics because their personalized therapy goes beyond standard treatments. They've been the go-to experts in TRT for well over a decade because not all TRT is the same. At Synergenics, you'll get a personally optimized TRT treatment plan from providers who specialize in testosterone therapy. Personalized treatment is key. Not all guys have the same testosterone levels. It's not one size fits all. This is customized to you. So book that appointment now at synergenicshealth.com. Testosterone starts to decline in your 30s. So if you're feeling a loss of energy and drive, it could be low T. Go get checked at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss, where they also have affordable GLP-1 weight loss options. Get that VIP treatment with the TRT experts at Synergenics Testosterone Weight Loss. Get started. Book that appointment now at synergenicshealth.com. SYNERGENX health.com for Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss.
If you travel as much as the San Antonio sports guys travel, while you're on the road, be sure to take us along. Listen to the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star live stream anywhere on the Odyssey radio app.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. $149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and t-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/radio and use code radio for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/radio and use code radio at checkout.
There are lots of reasons to get excited for spring. Warmer weather, get-togethers, and now new spring arrivals from your favorite brands at Macy's. Even more exciting, refresh your beauty routine at our Buy More, Save More event. Pick up new skincare, makeup, and fragrances from Estee Lauder, Valentino, MAC, and more. And save $30 with every $150 you spend. The more you spend, the more you save. Don't wait. Beauty deals this good won't last long. Hurry into Macy's today. Savings off regular price beauty and fragrance. Exclusions apply.
George gets justice.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sports book, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com and join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames, because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster, which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has 18 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Pan American Golf Association, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Ensira.com and PPL Motorhomes. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, April 14th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. Swing it!
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Munix. Tough loss today for the UTSA women's basketball team. The number one seed in the tournament, and they go down this afternoon to Rice. 62-58, the final. Rice gets the win.
That's tough. After the season they've had, to lose in the first round of the tournament, right? Am I right about that?
Well, it's their first game. I think they had a first-round bye because Rice played it yesterday and had a surprising win. Just looking at Twitter, Rice was up 60-51 with 1:19 to play, and the final was 62-58. So strong rally from the ladies, but not enough. Rice was the 9th seed coming into this tournament, a team that was 15-16 on the year. UTSA 17-1 in conference play, 26-3 overall. And according to what I read in the Express News, Greg Luca's article, the UTSA women knew going in, they had to win the tournament to make the big dance.
Wow.
So even as great of a season as they've had, no guarantee they make the NCAA women's tournament.
Wow, that's tough because they had a hell of a year, and they should be very proud of that. That's for sure. But to go in and to lose, and it goes to show you, man, you got to show up every day, and you got to play. I don't care who you're playing against. It's all about what happens between the lines. And, well, it's unfortunate for them, but certainly a great season for the UTSA ladies.
Yep. Quarterfinal game in the American Athletic Conference tournament.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's tough. Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
And who knows? I guess there's still an outside shot they could make the NCAA tournament, but to not even have a long run in the conference tournament, if the chips are stacked against them to begin with, probably not.
Probably not going to happen. Wow, that's too bad.
That is too bad. Crazy weekend.
Yes.
Crazy weekend in the NFL. And college basketball all the way through. I was at the beach watching Duke and UNC. No, you were at a chilly cook-off.
I was.
And so, half an eye on basketball and the other eye half glazed over. But, either way, just crazy weekend. And then paying attention to all the NFL news that, I don't know, I thought we were waiting until Monday, but I guess players didn't have to wait till Monday to re-sign with their own team, or trades made.
Yeah.
The DK Metcalf one, maybe one of the more surprising ones, because Pittsburgh's given up, a second-round pick, and then DK gets signed to a 5-year contract extension worth $150 million.
Well, now keep in mind what Seattle wanted was a first and a third when this whole thing started, so they didn't get that. They end up with a second-round pick. But, but for a DK Metcalf, think about that, $30 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
I'd pay that for a guy like that. That's not bad when you're talking about now. I mean, $40 million. Jamar Chase is going to be in that neighborhood. So I don't think it was a bad deal for Pittsburgh. Now they just got to find somebody to throw him the rock.
Well, that's the question, right? That is a team that just needs a guy that can come in and make some throws. Now, because you still got Pickens. Now you got DK. What was it? Boswell, their kicker, said, "Put me in, coach. I'll just heave it up. One of you guys are down there. Go get it." All right? I mean, what are they going to do at the quarterback position there in Pittsburgh? Because they've got the roster. They just need to find the guy that can quarterback it. Because you look at Josh Allen, his new contract, $250 million guaranteed, 6-year, $330 million contract. And the biggest surprise there is he still had 4 years left.
That's incredible, isn't it? So he's a Buffalo Bill for life.
Well,
he's going to be there for a while. we got some breaking news.
Oh, yeah? What do we got?
The Jaguars taking another Dallas Cowboy. Chuma Udoga is leaving Dallas to head to Jacksonville.
Interesting.
No numbers yet, from what I can see, but that comes from Jordan Schultz.
Well, and also the Packers signing guard Aaron Banks to a 4-year, $77 million deal. All right, so Chuma gone. Cowboys still with holes on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be interesting to see what the Cowboys end up doing with their offensive line. Because Chuma was one of those that stay, go, but he was a good depth guy. So I'm going to guess, and we'll find out soon enough what the numbers are. But if the numbers are way too much, you're going to go, okay, yeah, Jerry's not going to pay that. And quite honestly, how much do you feel like you're going to miss a Chuma from that regards if the number is high, and you figure if he's leaving, the number is going to be high?
Well, not only that, he's probably going to be a starter in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So if he's not going to be a starter in Dallas and he's going to be a starter in Jacksonville, I mean, that would be attractive too, depending on no matter what the number is. So we'll see. Again, I haven't seen any numbers posted yet, but we'll see. But it's eerie right now, eerie to last year when we saw the same thing happen. You see players leaving and nobody yet. And again, it's just Monday. We got a long way to go, so I'm not gonna prejudge, but eerily similar to what we saw last year.
Well, but again, though, I mean, Chuma wasn't. I mean, he's going to back up Tyler Guyton if he's playing at the tackle position, right? So if you look at Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Brock Hoffman, Terrence Steele, or Awesome Richards, you've got your starters there. Then you still have your Walesko's and TJ Basses and the Bostic guy. So I don't know, was Chuma one of those priority guys? Remember last week when Steven said the ones that we want to keep, we've already talked to. Who knows if Chuma was on that list?
Well, Jordan Lewis had to have been on that list.
Jordan Lewis had to be on that list.
So and he got away. And again, if it's a money thing, it's a money thing. But but I mean, you're still talking about depth. And I firmly think that the Cowboys will find more offensive linemen, at least one, possibly two, in the draft at the end of April. So again, not too worried about that. But the fact that the guys are leaving and there has been no one else to replace them. But again, I'm trying to keep my head here because it is just Monday, and we got a long way to go.
And not a surprise, right? I don't think anybody could say this is a surprise that the Cowboys haven't, other than taking care of their own guys. The fact that we're hearing they're in the running for a guy like Dre Greenlaw with San Francisco. I believe the Texans are also in that running. There's there's rumors that the Cowboys are actually talking to people during free agency, right? So Charvarius Ward, Jordan Lewis out, Ward in. Is that the route that they're going? But it is like last year. We didn't even hear rumors that the Cowboys were talking to anybody.
That's true. And a Greenlaw, I think, would be great. I mean, you talk about a guy that would come in and improve things right away. That would be a great signing in my mind for the Cowboys. So again, I'm keeping my head. It's early. It's only Monday. We got a long way to go in this thing, but hadn't started out great.
No word yet on a guy like DeMarcus Lawrence, right?
I can't see him being back.
Me neither, although it depends on what the market is for him, right?
Yeah, well, that's true. And he comes back with his tail between his legs and gives Jerry a hell of a deal.
Well, I mean, one of the comments on our YouTube channel, and you can always comment there, when you were asking about Micah's worth, Just Guerrero said, without anyone on the other side of Micah, Micah is worthless, double-teamed to ineffectiveness. And there are guys on the other side of Micah. But again, I say this, couch this, are they going to be healthy? Re-signing Osa. Osa got paid partially because of the attention that Micah Parsons gets. That frees up Osa to go get the quarterback. One day, Mozzie Smith is going to turn into an NFL player, or he's going to quit taking up space on the roster and in that line. Sam Williams, if he's able to come back healthy, could be one of those guys that, D-Law out, Sam Williams in. So, that Lauafau guy that they drafted, he was playing well too. So I think they've got some ideas of already having those voids filled, but we haven't seen enough of it as fans to say, okay, that guy's going to be ready to go. But if the coaching staff and the scouts are saying this guy, this guy, this guy, and I think it goes without saying with anybody, when healthy, I think they've already kind of replaced a Micah Parsons.
Or a D-Law.
Or a D-Law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be if you're hoping that these guys will come through or you're taking a chance, and that's Jerry's MO.
Yep.
I mean, these are guys that he drafted and he wants them to be. And Sam Williams has shown he's a talented guy. Sometimes I'm not sure where his head is, but he's a talented guy, that's for sure. Overshown coming back is going to be big. And when that happens, who knows? It's going to.
Did you see him? He was at a wedding or something over the weekend. I saw a video of him dancing just fine.
Yeah, that's great. So Jerry's going to play a polka on Sunday afternoon or what?
I mean, look, he showed up at the press conference the other day for Zach Martin without crutches, and then there's video of him dancing. Now, I know those aren't football moves, but
you're encouraged.
Yeah, he's out living life.
Yeah, well, no, that's good.
Well, I mean, he didn't seem restrained at all about the knee. He didn't seem like, he wasn't out there dancing like you. He was actually moving his feet,
I'm never a dancer.
Me neither.
Nor was I a linebacker either.
I'm not getting out there. I mean, his dance moves weren't quite that of James Pledger, but they were getting there.
Look, I hope he comes back. Just the reports we've seen. There's a long way to go between now and then, but I've seen week 6 or 7 before you get an Overshown back. Maybe that changes as we move forward, but those are the reports as we sit here today.
All right, let's see who else. Khalil Mack, 1-year deal, $18 million.
Yep.
On a 1-year deal.
Not bad.
Aaron Jones staying with Minnesota. 2 years, $20 million. He was one that I think a lot of us were hoping could end up in Dallas.
Yeah, but Jerry's not going to pay him $20 million for 2 years.
No.
So it wouldn't have mattered.
Well, you say that.
He would have gone somewhere else.
I'm just saying he's staying with Minnesota. How about former Smithson Valley Ranger? Trey Morg signs with the Panthers, 3 years, $51 million.
Good for him. That's fantastic. I think that's great. Nice little payday.
So you think about this. That's a safety that got 3 years, $51 million. What was Jay Lou's deal? 3 years, 30?
30. Mm-hmm.
And Jerry's looking for, 3 years, 15?
Exactly.
And you got good safeties that are, because I think it'd have been awesome to have a former Smithson Valley Ranger sign with the Dallas Cowboys.
It would have been fantastic, but he certainly wouldn't have gotten $51 million if $30 million is too much.
No. Hell of a deal for him.
Nah, it's great.
Hell of a deal for Jay Lou.
Yes.
But, is Jordan Lewis looking at that going, well, wait a minute.
Yes.
Now granted, Carolina's not going to be very good, we don't think. You think so, maybe?
I think they'll be better.
Better than what?
Well, better than they have been, which is not saying a whole hell of a lot. But I think Bryce Young proved that he's coming around. And, talented. He had a pretty good year once he got off the bench and got back in the game. So he started playing well. I think that's where it starts. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they'll be better than they have been for sure.
Better than the 5 wins from a year ago.
Sure.
I guess it's possible. I don't know. I'm just ready for the Cowboys to get something done. Something. Although, can't say that I'm surprised about anything except Jordan Lewis at this point. Although, seeing the money that he's getting, I can't say that I'm surprised. Although, when you look at what Mooring is getting and you go, well, wait a minute, Jay Lou's a bargain if that's what the new market is for a safety.
Well, I just wonder what Jerry, unless he's going to start a rookie there, and that's what you're going to do, or a young player. I mean, I don't know what he expects to get for less than $30 million over 3 years. Or was it the 3 years that was the problem?
Well, I mean, just when you look at safeties, right? I mean, Marquise Bell signs 3-year deal worth up to $12 million. You got Donovan Wilson. Malik Hooker's still with the Cowboys, right? He's there. Wanye Thomas, they just re-signed last week, right? So Carson, Booth, Goodwin, they brought back our corners. So maybe, Deron Bland, and at some point you got to get ready to pay that guy, because if he has another year like he's been having, he's going to go cash in. So, maybe there's some thoughts there that we want Jordan Lewis back, but at the right price.
I just don't know what the right price is, and that's the question of the day, right? What is the right price? If $10 million a year is not the right price, what is?
Well, I mean, last week it was, around 5 to 6 per. And so if Jerry's thinking 15 to 18 and he's getting basically 10 a year from Jacksonville, nope, that's too much. If those projections were right, which clearly they weren't, or Jacksonville overpaid.
Either way.
And both are a possibility. They were the right projections, but you find the right buyer, and you're going to go there. On Marquise Bell, it's a 3-year, $9 million contract that could be worth up to $12 million with incentives, which is the way Dallas likes to do a lot of deals.
Yes, they do. Jerry was feeling his oats with that Oso Digizua deal. He got over on that, and he's expecting to get over on everybody. Yeah, you give Jerry a win, he wants 10 more.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that happens when he's paying Micah $5 bazillion.
So what do you do if you're on a long flight? I mean, a long flight. And on a plane big enough to have 12 bathrooms, and the toilets all clog up.
Woo.
What do you do? We'll let you know what happened this past weekend.
Poop your pants.
At some point.
What else you do, right?
At some point. We'll talk about it coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Taking you home with The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Nigel, what are you doing with all this stuff in the break room? It looks like a farmer's market in here.
I'm changing my eating habits, embracing good quality nutrition with fresh produce.
Folks, maintaining a healthy AC system is just like maintaining a healthy diet. Let's make sure your system is clean and efficient. Nigel, that's a pretty impressive healthy salad you've assembled.
Thanks, Joel. Now step back. The grease is hot.
Grease?
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, 210-651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, This is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
We're honoring the pursuit of brews and barrel-aged bourbon every Friday at our Bourbon and Brews Party. Head over to Twin Peaks Fridays from 5 to 7 and experience a lingerie costume party paired with exceptional bourbons, tastings, and giveaways. Cheers!
Guys, if you ever spend time on social media, you'll often find yourself just being hit with bad news and worse comments, and you'll see how everybody's life is so picture perfect, and they've got this great job promotion, and you're wondering, man, where am I? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing. Imagine how you'd feel if you just spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. That's what they're about at Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. If you're dealing with stress, anxiety, you want to be more present and focused, you want to sleep better, you want to have better relationships, you've got to work on yourself. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall being. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Just got some breaking news that made Pledge's head explode. Jeremy Tunsil being traded from the Texans to the Washington Commanders. More on that coming up. Cowboys have lost a couple of players to the Jacksonville Jaguars. First of all, cornerback Jordan Lewis. They also lost offensive lineman Chuma Edoga. He is headed to Jacksonville as well. Marquise Bell's sticking around with the Cowboys, though. 3-year deal, $12 million.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenicshealth.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. James Pledger used to produce our show, but his head just exploded.
Shit, there's blood all over the room in there.
Bug on windshield. Holy cow.
Wow, I'm not sure. I don't think he was too happy about that trade.
I'm not. Well, again, we haven't seen what the return compensation is, but Aaron Wilson saying that Pro Bowl left tackle Laramie Tunsil will now do all his holding in D.C. as he is traded to the Commanders. We don't know what for yet.
Well, we just got this from NFL Trade Rumors. The Texans are going to get a second-round pick in 26, third-round pick this year, and a fourth-round pick in 26. So that's according to NFLTradeRumors.com.
So a third rounder this year, a second and fourth next year, and then Houston also sends back a fourth rounder, but I don't know what year, according to Ian Rappaport.
Woo! So there you go. Look, I mean, depending on what you think of Tunsil, I mean, he can be a pretty damn good offensive lineman.
Again, and Pledge, if you want to react in the moment here as a Texan fan, the offensive line last year was dog crap.
Mm-hmm.
But you still have to do something and have somebody block for CJ. So my first thought is, I wonder what they're working on.
Exactly. You don't make that move without having something corresponding lined up, I don't think. Just because of while he's had his issues with false starts, Pro Football Focus, he is one of the best pass-protecting left tackles in football, period.
Well, and you're getting no real immediate relief.
Well, you get salary cap relief.
Well, no, but I'm talking about, I mean, you're getting a third rounder this year, a second and fourth next, which Nick Caserio could trade this year because now he's got that ability. But for this year, all you're getting is a third to help this year's offseason, unless they use that second and fourth for next year to work another trade. So this to me is step one of what should be multiple parts for the Texans in working on their offensive line.
According to Spotrac, the Texans will take on $15 million of dead cap per that trade, but it does free up almost $14 million for them. So that's according to Spotrac. And they also say that Tunsil has got $10 million guaranteed this year. His contract is $21.3 million. $10 million of that's guaranteed. Next year's not guaranteed. So if Washington doesn't want him, they can let him go after this year.
And he was Mr. False Start, but also a lot of holding penalties too, right? I mean, he's a penalty waiting to happen.
No, it was false starts, and there was he had this habit of on screens being too far downfield.
Well, I mean, that happens, but wasn't he the one that had the issues that he was wearing the red gloves on white jerseys, so when he was holding it made it real easy for the officials to tell?
Yeah, he got nabbed for one or two of those, but he's not a perpetual holder.
Yeah. We get another WTF from Micah Parsons on the Tunsil trade. So there's been a lot of WTFs from Micah Parsons.
In the rest of the world. The rest of the world. The rest of the football world is going, what the Franks are going on here?
Wow.
Yes.
I love this time of year, man.
This is so much fun.
It is.
I mean, we put our show together today going, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, it's not going to matter.
Now, we did put together a very high-quality headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
I've never flown Air India.
You haven't? Come on.
I've been on a lot of airplanes. I've never used Air India.
Huh.
Although if I were flying from, say, Chicago to Delhi, I guess that's probably one of those options. Seems like a pretty massive plane. That's a long flight from Chicago. Direct. It doesn't stop. 300 people are on a plane. It has 12 bathrooms.
Which seems like a lot.
It does for an airplane. But
right?
I'm used to Southwest. They got 3 and less than 200 people. But if I were on a plane that was going to be a gazillion-hour flight, you need lots of potties. So something called View from the Wing reported that about 4.5 hours in to a 10-hour flight, 11 of the airplane's 12 toilets got clogged. After the 11th toilet got backed up, the pilots decided, we're 4.5 hours in. We're going to turn around. We're over Greenland right now, but let's just go back to Chicago.
Well, 300 people, 14-hour flight, so they still had about 10 hours to go in this thing. They're thinking foul play here. That somebody spiked the drinks or the food with laxative or something to that effect, because Well, I mean, that just doesn't happen. Everybody has to go poop at the same time and poop enough to clog up 11 toilets.
Now, you think about airplane toilets, you flush those things. Man, you cannot be on the toilet and flush at the same time, or your ass is going to have a giant hickey on it.
That's
so
true.
How they clog those things up? I mean, those are super-powered flushers. So there might be even more going on. There's got to be more going on here.
Can't you just open a trap door and let that stuff just fall out of the plane?
Well, that's what happens.
I would think so.
I mean, when you're not over a neighborhood.
When you're like walking outside and you just feel a little drop or something, you're going, what the hell was that? Well, there you go. There's a plane went by.
I just honestly, whose idea? And was it the right idea? You're 4 hours in, 4.5 hours in, and you turn around and go back. It's a 14-hour flight. So you basically spent 10 hours in the air going nowhere while squeezing your cheeks together because all the toilets were clogged to go back to Chicago. And then apparently the plane was out of service for 2 days while they were trying to figure out what was going on with their flushing system. They made arrangements to get everybody on flights, other flights, to get to India. It's crazy, isn't it?
Dude, that's nuts. I mean, wouldn't you just like to say, we can make it? I'll stick a cork in there. All right, so we can make it. We just keep going? Why the hell all the way back to Chicago?
Is there not any place closer they could have gone? Now, granted, big old airplane like that, there's only so many runways that it could land at. I don't know if that was something to do with it. According to reports, they are investigating everything from what was the food served on the flight, testing the food to make sure somebody didn't spike it or leave evidence of a laxative or something else. But also, those toilets are designed not to clog. So
somebody sabotaged the potties.
Could you imagine?
Well, I can't imagine. What the hell was the smell on that plane?
Dude. Then again, do you want 10 more hours of that?
Well,
do you want 10 more hours?
You still have to endure 4.5 back to Chicago.
Do they not have Gatorade buckets or little contraptions like a porta potty? I mean, in 10 hours, that thing could have felt like it was over at Oyster Bake, but at the same time, at least, there's an end in sight.
I suppose, but I mean, that 4.5-hour flight back to Chicago had to feel like 45 hours.
Well, and the fact that you realize, all right, whatever it is you're doing, and you're on a plane that long, you lose. If you're going on vacation, you are losing an entire day just for travel. And now you're turning around and coming back. So now essentially your vacation is probably cut short by 2 days, maybe 3, because how many flights a day are there from Chicago to Delhi? I always thought it was New Delhi, but whatever. Who knows?
I don't know, but I'm glad I wasn't on that flight. That would have been miserable.
That would have been.
Can you imagine the line in that 12th bathroom?
Wow.
That I'd have never made it. Because on a 14-hour flight, I would have been drinking heavily to try and fall asleep most of that flight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
We have a shocking update.
Uh-oh.
A couple weeks ago, we told you about a guy who had 2 wives. And one of his wives is the daughter of his other wife. He married a mother and a daughter. And they were both pregnant at the same time. He got them both knocked up. So that was the original article. Turns out, he's not the father of both of those babies.
Well, apparently not. Now, the guy's name is Nick, right? And there's a picture of him in this article where he's in between the mom and the daughter. They're both got their bellies hanging out there.
They're both pregnant.
They're both pregnant.
Yeah.
And that's now Nick is claiming the pregnancies were just a skit. He says neither of the content-creating women are pregnant. The video was fake that duped some people. Now, what's the point of that? So we're talking about it on a goofy show like this?
He went viral. That's all he wanted to do. They figured they could make a lot of money because, basically, He got a mother and daughter pregnant at the same time, and he goes viral. But apparently, fake babies.
Fake babies, and
Now you question about the relationship. Is any of it real?
You just can't. Well, he claims that it is, that it's a real thing, but I don't believe this guy. I wouldn't believe him at all. I mean, my faith and trust in this dude is just out the window.
How much faith and trust did you have with him to begin with?
Well, I thought, it was interesting. Okay, dude. I mean, if you're having fun with mom and her daughter, then props to you.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
But now, you're dead to me.
Dead to you.
He's gone.
Gone.
What the hell?
So bad.
Very disappointed.
Now, Dak Prescott is expecting another one.
Uh-huh.
He was on vacation this weekend in the Bahamas. But even on vacation, Dak Prescott can't escape it. So some chicks from Philly are having their bachelorette party at the same resort that Dak is staying at. And while Dak is walking through the hallway, they started chanting. And they could spell it, unlike their mayor.
Well, that's good. I would think Dak would, he'd be okay with that.
Oh, you think?
Sure. I mean, that's just good old-fashioned rivalry. I mean, they could have shouted out, "Hey, Dak, you're overpaid." Could have said that.
They could have.
Which would have been true. But, I mean, they spelled out Eagles instead.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-T-S-E-S, Eagles!
I'm now thinking about it, how disappointed I am with that bachelorette party, because if they were doing it right, they shouldn't have been any kind of state to spell correctly.
Exactly right. We're the Bahamas.
Yeah, they're in the Bahamas.
Well, I thought that was kind of cool because I saw Dak walking with it's his fiance now, right? They're not married yet, I don't think. Anyway, they're close, whatever it is. They might be married. I don't know. But they're walking through the casino.
Uh-huh.
Looked like a pretty cool casino.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Never been to the Bahamas.
Oh, you should go.
Yeah, well.
It's
maybe
fun.
I will. I might at some point.
The casinos there were not very kind to me, but I had a great time.
Well, very few casinos are kind.
That's not true.
Every now and then you find one.
Exactly. The latest on NFL free agency, Spurs lose again. A lot more coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available for both residential and commercial needs. I used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my home. They do fantastic work and have for over 3 decades. The family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whether you need additional outlets or USB ports, a fuse that is always blowing, a flickering light, need a light moved, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. Call Hill Electric, whether it's for your office, whether it's for your home. 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or online, hill-electric.com.
Ready for the ultimate sports fan getaway? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is headed to Vegas, and we're bringing you along. Why? Because watching the games from your couch in sweatpants just isn't the same. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz for a Mega March weekend you'll never forget, or possibly remember. We're talking Vegas here. March 27th through the 30th, we're hitting up Circa Las Vegas for opening day. And the second weekend of the tournament, a.k.a. Sports Heaven, baby. Thursday, March 27th, the party starts with baseball's opening day at the world's largest sports book. That's right, big screens, big games, and big opinions from Jason and Joe. It's basically like watching sports at home, but with no chores and way more pools. Speaking of pools, dive into 6 of them at Stadium Swim and catch all the action on a 143-foot screen. Lock in now. Go to CircaLasVegas.com. Use promo code BLITZ and party with Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, pools, Vegas. What could possibly go wrong?
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
San Antonio, the NCAA 2025 Men's Final Four is coming April 4th through the 7th. Check out Reese's Men's Final Four Friday, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where you can watch open practices and the Reese's NABC All-Star Game at the Alamo Dome for free. And for the music lovers, March Madness Music Festival, presented by AT&T, Capital One, and Coca-Cola, with 3 days of free concerts, featuring the biggest acts in music at Tower Park and Hemisphere. Visit ncaa.com/men's Final Four.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sports book, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com. And join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
This is A.J. Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You know, the thought of casinos. We're a couple of weeks away.
Wow.
From doing the Blitz live at Circa Las Vegas. You got time to get your rooms booked and join us out at Circa Las Vegas for Mega March weekend. The Blitz live the 27th and 28th from Stadium Swim that Thursday and Friday, but we're staying for the weekend because it's a great weekend. Second round of the tournament, opening day of Major League Baseball. Book your rooms now. CircaLasVegas.com. Use promo code BLITZ, or you can go to sasportstar.com There's a link there that will take you right to the reservation page that has the Blitz discount already applied.
It's going to be so much fun. I'm telling you, talk to some people this weekend that are already booked and ready to go. So it's going to be a fun weekend for sure. I can't wait. 2 weeks away, huh?
Yeah.
Just about, yeah.
A little more.
Yeah.
Right?
Can't wait.
Days
Can't wait.
till we fly out there.
Yeah.
Book your stuff. I know you were at an event this weekend with some people that I know are going. I was at an event this weekend with some people that are going, and more people there said, yeah, we're going.
Yeah.
We got to book that.
Yes.
You're running out of time to book it.
You are running out of time, but you still got time today. So just do it today. Take care of it, and you can start looking forward to it like we are.
How was the chili cook-off?
Chili cook-off was a lot of fun. I tell you what, I had a good time, and then there was the chili. No, it was good. There was some great sausage there. Joe Herring made some sausage and as an appetizer for everybody. It was fantastic. The beer was flowing. Everything else was flowing as well.
How was the chili? Were there some weird chilies that you would say, this is really good, but I wouldn't say this is chili?
There was one that was probably the best tasting thing that I had all day, but it was carne asada.
Well, that's not chili.
No, it's not. And I come to find out this team that made the carne asada won last year.
Oh.
So, it comes in. It was the first entry. It was myself and Rob Thompson and another young lady, and there were 3 judges. I think 10 teams total, something like that. But this was the first one that came in. And I'm looking at this going, well, wow, that's pretty chunky. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can make chili that way, but
chunky chili.
I taste it, and it tasted a lot like carne asada.
Uh-huh.
And if I had a tortilla and some cheese, I'd have been happy as hell, although I ate most of it because it tasted so damn good.
But not chili. Now,
but it's not chili.
I know Rob Thompson well enough. I know that guy, one, prides himself on making a good chili.
Uh-huh.
And I would imagine he is a difficult chili judge. I don't know how you are when it comes to chili, but also knowing Rob, he's not going to penalize somebody for having beans in their chili.
Well, none of them had beans in
Okay,
there.
good.
Nobody had beans in their chili. And there were a few that were really good. Some were, okay. But there were a couple, and the team that won obviously had the best chili, but it looked like chili, smelled like chili, tasted like chili.
Straight from that Wolf Brand can.
Well, no, it was much better than that. My only complaint, and about all of them, and they told me afterwards, we had a chance to talk to all the contestants afterwards, except the carne asada people wanted to kill us. But other than that,
the defending champs,
yeah, they wanted to kill. They weren't happy with us at all, especially one lady. She was
Really?
Yeah, she was a little upset.
Her name Karen?
I don't know what her name was, but she was very upset. And anyway, we'll leave it at that. I almost needed. Joe asked me if I needed an armed escort out.
Wow.
Off the property.
Wow.
So anyway, it was. I probably shouldn't have made that joke in front of everybody, huh? That it was carne asada.
Yeah.
But it was a damn good carne asada. I'm telling you. I don't even know where the hell I was. Anyway, this was my only. It wasn't. They weren't spicy enough. But it found out afterwards that the one big complaint was that last year it was too spicy. So they overcorrected, and I could have used a little more spice in my chili.
So it would have been perfect for me.
Yeah, it would have been perfect for you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But overall, it was great. It was really good. And I told Rob Thompson afterwards, if those people that made the carne asada wanted to sell me a crock pot full of this, I'd have paid for it. It was damn good.
But not chili.
It wasn't chili.
See,
although that's my opinion, obviously, and according to the lady that was mad at me, it was chili. So
no, because remember when I did the Frito pie judging contest over at Alamo Heights in the summertime,
yeah.
One of the entries had like pineapples and a bunch of other stuff in there and no chili. And I'm like, well, that's not a Frito pie.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a nice snack, but it wasn't what I would classify as a Frito pie.
This carne asada was the best tasting thing there. It really was.
Yeah.
But it wasn't chili. And that's what we were there to judge. And so, it's hard to give them the...
So you had the best food, but they were in the wrong category.
The wrong category.
Did they know it was a chili cook-off, or were they thinking it might have been something else?
They were the defending champions. And so I also heard that story afterwards. It's like, yeah, we couldn't believe that they won last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no offense to anybody. It was fantastic. But I don't think they were happy with me and Rob and the other young lady.
Well, I don't know how many Spurs fans are happy right now, or are you happy? Because they lost again, which right now a loss is good, but you want them to be competitive. They get blown out last night by Minnesota. Mitch Johnson says afterwards, no, nobody feels sorry for them.
Yeah, nobody feels sorry for you. People are going through this on all the teams and schedules and whatnot, and we just have to be ready to go to work and continue to find moments to participate in our own survival and not have self-inflicted mistakes. When you're playing good teams, it's tough enough when you give them extra possessions or miscues and now they get an easy shot versus making them work for the tough stuff. That's where you play out of a hole. It's really tough to beat some of these teams, especially on the road.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, I wonder if this particular Spurs team has ever heard of the word defense.
No.
Because I don't think they know what it is. I mean, honestly.
Give them credit. They played a good game. They made some tough shots. I thought first half we got lost a few times off the ball, screens that hurt us. The offensive rebounds crushed us. I think they hit 4, maybe 5 in the first half alone. I'm not sure in the second half, but that's 7 or 8 right there just in offensive rebounds and then just getting lost off-ball screens. And we know they're going to hit some tough ones. I thought a couple times on our closeouts, maybe a little bit of soft just in terms of taking away some of the airspace when we know you got a guy like DiVincenzo or Naz Reid who that's what they want to do. They're thinking catch shot more than catch go or put the ball down. But, again, you give them credit. They played a well executed game on that end of the floor, and they moved the ball, and they made it tough on us at times.
Yeah, I would say. That's a pretty good description. It was tough.
They score 124 and get blown out.
Yes.
By allowing 141. You get the Mavericks tonight and Wednesday. And the Mavericks team, they're trying to tank at this point. You see Jason Kidd over the weekend? Dude, I was trying to sub somebody out. We don't have enough guys.
Exactly.
Right? They're not trying to win.
Somebody else that got hurt.
And
they're in trouble.
The Spurs might be soon on that path. So De'Aaron Fox said over the weekend that he's going to see a specialist when they're in Los Angeles. They play the Lakers on the 17th. The weird quote was, I don't know if surgery is that day or not.
Well, it should be.
Well, it should be. Which
Get
means,
it over with.
Which means he might get shut down around St. Patrick's Day, which means the official tank would be on. And I think by then, there's no reason to shut down Steph Castle, but he'll have enough games to qualify for Rookie of the Year. Because, I mean, we might as well try for that and have back-to-back Rookies of the Year. But if De'Aaron Fox does get shut down here in the next week or so, when they're in Los Angeles, and I would like to think, all right, if you're doing that off-season surgery, get it done now. Because do what you can to get into the lottery at this point.
Well, that's going to happen anyway. De'Aaron Fox could stick around perfectly healthy, and this team's not going anywhere. They just don't have the players. Yeah, it's fun to watch Stephon Castle play. He really is a lot of fun to watch play, and he's improving, and that's good to see. But this team just they're not going anywhere. I mean, you play defense the way they don't play defense. It's just you're not going to beat anybody. And maybe they beat Dallas tonight. Maybe they win again on Wednesday. But even then, you ain't getting in the playoffs.
I'm a little conflicted, honestly, when it comes to tonight's game. I always want to beat Dallas. But a win tonight helps Dallas in their tanking efforts. Hurts us in our tanking efforts. Right? So I don't know what I want to see happen tonight. I don't know that I'm going to see good I know we're not going to see good basketball.
No, you're not.
We're not going to see good basketball from either team tonight.
No, no, you're not. I mean, neither one of these teams are good. I mean, they're just not. They've got some good players. The Spurs have some good players. De'Aaron Fox, love watching him play. Steph Castle, love watching him play. But as a team overall, they don't have what it takes to get there, and they're not going to get there. And bad news for everybody that, again, I hate updating you on Atlanta, but they
Thanks.
Yeah, they keep winning. I think they're up to number 7 now in the East, in a pathetic East.
It's a tremendous punch in the gut.
So, yeah, it's so one lottery pick's going to be better than none, and certainly 2 would have been better than 1, but lottery chances, that is. And so, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Bummer.
Yeah, they're 7.5 games ahead of Philadelphia, and Philadelphia's done.
They're done. So are the Spurs.
It's
beat Dallas, but don't.
They're going to beat Dallas. Dallas lost 5 in a row.
Can we split with Dallas and be happy?
No, they're not going to split with Dallas.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Both of these games in San Antonio.
Yeah. Have fun if you have tickets.
Yeah. Yeah, when you bought those tickets, it was probably all right.
Oh, yeah.
Dallas.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Luka coming. Oh, wait.
No, wait, Luka. Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then even, hey, okay, well, Anthony Davis. Oh, well. Well, they got that young kid, Derek Lively. Oh, yeah, well, no. Yeah, that sucks.
You know, when you're watching these games, you're just going to need a nice stiff drink.
Yes.
And a place to get said stiff drink is the Roo Pub. And you know there's no better place to go watch any big game, any big event than at the Roo Pub. Go watch a Spurs game. Those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And when you go into the Roo Pub, they've got some new specials. One of them is called the Rheinegel Stiffy.
Yes.
It's tequila, soda, lime with a splash of OJ.
Sounds delicious.
It does. Well, and look, they heard us talking about the Rheinegel Stiffy or whatever it is you were calling. You wanted a shot named after you, and there it is. You can go get the Rheinegel Stiffy. They even made steak night the Minix ribeye. So you want a good 12-ounce ribeye, perfectly marbled for $19.95. Wednesday, steak night. Go get the Minix ribeye. They're at the Roo Pub. Every Wednesday is steak night. It's a great steak, perfectly marbled.
And it pairs well with a Rheinegel Stiffy.
And it does pair well with a Rheinegel Stiffy. Not that many things actually do, but the steak and Stiffy special is on at the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Pledgers probably already had 3 of them.
Oh, of course he has.
He cannot wait. Steak night on Wednesday, and then you got to start planning ahead for St. Patrick's Day because you know the parties at St. Patrick's Day, the St. Patty's Day parties, they're legendary, and this year it's going to be 2 days. Sunday, March 16th, they're having a crawfish boil. All you can eat for $10. 2 o'clock until they run out. $10, all you can eat crawfish. On Sunday, March 16th at the Roo Pub. They'll have a band outside going from 4 to 7. St. Patrick's Day, Monday, the Blitz is going to be live out there. The green beer is going to be flowing. Live music starting at 2 o'clock. Finding Friday will take the stage at 5. DJs inside both the Roo and Angry Elephant at night. Plan now St. Patrick's Day. Sunday, the all-you-can-eat crawfish boil for $10. Monday, St. Patrick's Day. You know the drill. You want to party the right way, get into the Roo Pub. 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. We'll see you at the Roo.
Nigel, what are you doing with all this stuff in the break room? It looks like a farmer's market in here.
I'm changing my eating habits, embracing good quality nutrition with fresh produce.
Folks, maintaining a healthy AC system is just like maintaining a healthy diet. Let's make sure your system is clean and efficient. Nigel, that's a pretty impressive healthy salad you've assembled.
Thanks, Joel. Now step back. The grease is hot.
Grease?
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
Empower. Nick bought a new guitar, a 62 American Classic Electric. Does he know how to play? No. But Nick's Empower investment account has performed well. He got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is a really, really, really good guitar solo.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement, a $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-290-0258. 800-290-0258. 800-290-0258.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414.
Hi, it's me, your USPS Ground Advantage shipment. Just left the warehouse and hitting the road.
I know. Just got the notification.
Great. Smooth sailing so far. I'm almost there.
Yes, I know. I get all the updates.
Made it. Safe and sound.
I know.
Well, did you know I was with USPS the whole time?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Keep your business in the know with the USPS Ground Advantage service. Visit USPS.com/in-the-know.
It's Power Torque Tools DIY days at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Lifetime guaranteed Power Torque professional hand tools only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. This Thursday, the Blitz is going to be live at Round Table Pizza in New Braunfels.
Nice.
So if you listen up in New Braunfels or you're kind of up that 35 area, come hang out with us at Round Table Pizza this Thursday.
This Thursday in New Braunfels.
Thursday.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yep.
Always.
Good stuff.
Uh-huh.
Good stuff for sure. So much going on in the NFL today. And we'll go through a complete rundown. During the break, all the talk was about the Laramie Tunsil trade. Texans fans, you've lost another offensive lineman. Laramie Tunsil gone. And the value of the trade compensation is for next year's draft, a second and a fourth next year. You do get a third-rounder, Texans fans, this year, but you're also sending a fourth with Laramie Tunsil to Washington. And I haven't seen yet if that fourth is this year or next year. It is this year. So you got rid of Laramie Tunsil in this year's fourth for a third this year, a second, and a fourth next year.
Well, you're dumping some salary there, too. And, well, I mean, that offensive line was horrible. You might as well start over when it comes to that, or at least for the most part, if you're Houston. But I saw something that I didn't even think about. Is this part of Houston, I don't know, maybe shedding some excess salary to sign some guy by the name of, I don't know, C.J. Stroud coming up here in the next year or so?
I mean, eventually I'm sure that's going to factor in. And you just have to – all of it, because, I mean, C.J. Pledge is quick to point out, and Will Anderson.
And Will Anderson.
Both those guys are going to have to get paid. And maybe it's Nick Caserio saying, I love you, man, but not at that price. And your performance level and your penalties hurt us more than anything. And our offensive line was awful last year, and maybe they just need a complete retooling of that offensive line. But that is a shocking move on its own. So when I look at what the Texans are doing, I can't wait to see what the next move is where you're going to go, all right, that's why they did that. Because there's got to be.
No, there has to be something, right? It's going to be interesting to see, and that give you a pretty good idea of where the Texans are going in the draft. I think they're going to focus on that offensive line. They have to try and retool that thing. Will they go out and try to find somebody else in free agency that can come in? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, but it gives you an indication of what some teams are going to be doing. I tell you, the activity that we've seen yesterday and even today is just it's mind-blowing. The money that's being thrown around, the trades that are being made, the signings that are being made, what's fascinating, a lot of fun for us, but it just seems like, and again, maybe I say this every year, but it just seems like an overabundance of activity in the NFL.
Well, and again, Tom Pelissero reporting right now, the Packers are signing former Raiders corner Nate Hobbs, 4 years, $48 million, but only 16 of that guaranteed. I mean, that seems like, all right, 4 years, 48, 16 guaranteed. But, that's big money for somebody that the Raiders thought that they were going to be able to keep. And, you start looking ahead, okay, now 4 years, $48 million when Bland is up next year. Is that going to be the neighborhood that he's going to be looking in? Although $16 million guaranteed, you would think that number would be a lot higher in guaranteed dollars. But, the Packers doing everything they can to keep up with what's going on in their division.
Yeah, I mean, they have to. I think teams have to do that. I mean, you see Washington, again, wherever you think about Tunsil, Washington needed an upgrade on that offensive line. They're hoping that they can get it. Maybe Tunsil was just, I don't know, she wasn't a fit in Houston. It'll be a better fit in Washington. We'll see. But what they've done, the Cowboys might want to think about doing some of the same thing, like keeping up with the Joneses.
Well, it's the Cowboys, right? And I think we all knew they weren't going to be big players on a day like today. They're going to do the deals like they've done. C.J. Goodwin, 1-year deal. Their long snapper, he's back. Marquise Bell on a 3-year deal worth up to $12 million. It's 3 years, $9 million with incentives. He can get an extra 3. Jordan Lewis is gone. It's kind of what you expect from the Cowboys, especially until they announce whatever their plans are for Micah Parsons. Now, if we see a Micah Parsons deal in the next 24 hours, maybe. But you're not even you're hearing rumors involving the Cowboys and 2 players that seem affordable. Then you see this on Twitter and you go, yeah. 2015 was the last time the Cowboys signed a free agent from another team worth over $6 million a year, and that player was Greg Hardy. Their last really, 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 really big free agent signing was old Brandon Carr when that stadium was brand new there in Arlington.
Uh-huh.
Think about that.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
So the Cowboys aren't doing anything out of their norm. Take care of small, easy stuff on their end, guys that they want to keep. I think they did want to keep Jordan Lewis, but 3 years, $30 million, which is what he got from Jacksonville. I'm not surprised when I see those numbers that he did not re-sign with the Cowboys when that's almost double what the perceived value of Jordan Lewis was a week ago when you were seeing all the different stories about projected salaries for certain players. He was in the $5 to $6 million a year range. So 3 years, 15, 3 years, 20, you could almost see that for the Cowboys. But if he comes in with 3 years, $30 million from Jacksonville, the dude, man, hell of a run, man. Go get it while you can.
He's going, and we'll see what happens with him in Jacksonville. They've got some rebuilding to do, that's for sure. Again, it's early. I'm not going to let my head explode just yet when it comes to the Cowboys. But I will point out, which I've done many times on this show, doing the same thing you've done over and over and over again is not producing what you want. So you might, I don't know, call me nuts. You might want to think about doing something different for a change, because what you're doing ain't working.
True. I mean, but here's the thing. Knowing what you're paying your quarterback and your receiver, and you have held all this money back for Micah Parsons. And you've been telling us for 2 years, Stephen, Jerry, that your intent is to sign Micah Parsons. So you've done all this planning. You were so frugal last year, knowing that you are going to pay Micah Parsons. So with all this planning, why is that deal not done yet? Unless it's Micah Parsons as the holdup. But publicly, I don't know that Micah Parsons is being the holdup based on everything that he has said. Now, his agent, David Mulligetta, might be a bit of a holdup, but this isn't a surprise that Micah Parsons is going to be at the top of the non-quarterback market. And you've been telling us for a year, more than a year, that your intent is to sign those 3 guys. So waiting does nothing but handcuff you. You don't have to be handcuffed. If you're the Cowboys, you're doing it to yourself, and it's ultimately going to cost you more money. You saw the market's already changed from 30s to now 40, and if a couple of these other guys sign, Micah's price continues to go up. So, again, you talk about doing things the same way. Do a deal early. I mean, the last time you did a deal early was Diggs, and you were celebrated for that. Now, hasn't worked because Diggs got hurt and is still hurt, but at least you did that deal early. But at the same time, it can work. And then you could go comfortably know where you're going to be with some of these other guys that you might be in competition for.
Well, I'd really like to know what's happening behind the scenes, though, because, look, if you're Micah Parsons, and look, Micah Parsons, the Dallas Cowboys, nobody in the league could have guessed what was going to happen in Cleveland. I don't think that surprises everybody that Myles Garrett is now the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL at $40 million a year. I don't think anybody saw that coming. So that's hard to predict. So, I mean, that goes to anybody. And you saw Micah Parsons' tweet with the WTF. I mean, nobody saw that coming. And I don't think you could prepare for that. So taking up for Jerry a little bit there. But again, I just wonder, because you know Jamar Chase is still out there. Is Micah going to maybe want to wait and see what happens with Jamar Chase? I don't think a Trey Hendrickson is going to change the market because I don't think he's going to get paid that. I don't think he is. Maybe he will. But, I mean, if you're Micah, you're in no hurry to sign this thing. And so I don't know if Jerry and Steven have presented Micah with a deal yet or not, anything at all. I'm sure there's been numbers discussed. But if you're Micah and his representative, you're in absolutely no hurry to sign a deal.
No, and again, when you look at some of the deals, and there's been some surprising deals signed by guys, and you go, wow, how much? At least we're not seeing the Cowboys signing a guy and overpaying, which, again, not typical Cowboys. You're not seeing it from the Texans, but, you know, some of these deals you kind of look at and you go, man, that's a lot of money for that guy. Jordan Lewis might be that guy. I mean, Jordan Lewis, you know how right now is supposed to be all Tier 1 guys? Is Jordan Lewis a Tier 1 guy? I mean, now granted, you know, Trayvon Moore got a 3-year, $51 million deal. He's a safety with the Panthers. That's Tier 1 money for a guy that I don't know that I would put in as Tier 1. He's been good, but has he been that good for the Raiders? You know what I mean?
No.
You know, you look at the money Chuma Edoga signed for. That's big-time starter money for a guy who's a career backup in Dallas.
Did you see something there? I didn't see the numbers on Chuma. I haven't seen that. But he probably projected to be a starter. I will say, look, Tyler Guyton, Chuma was starting in place of Tyler a lot toward the end of the season.
Yep.
And so there's a reason he was better than Tyler Guyton at least last year at that point in time. And Guyton's gotten off to a slow start. Hopefully he's not another Mozzie Smith. But, we'll see, and hopefully he'll be better this year. But I think Chuma Edoga is a starting offensive lineman in the NFL. The Cowboys just had a number 1 pick in front of him. that they weren't going to let somebody else start. But toward the end of the season, Udoka was. And I think partly because of that, got him a deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. It's interesting. Interesting what's going on today in free agency and with trades. Still trying to figure out the Laramie Tunsil trade. To me, that's the bigger surprise. One, the compensation, but two, what's the next move for Nick Caserio?
Yeah, interesting. I mean, I tell you what, I love that guy. I love what he does. I love how aggressive that he is. Whether you like the moves or not, at least he's doing something. And to me, man, if you're taking a swing and that's my team, I'm happy with it.
That's it. Although right now it's exiting. What's coming back?
Mm-hmm.
That becomes the question. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. More on free agency because you know there's going to be news that's going to break here in the next couple of minutes.
Of course
it's still early in the day here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Could you believe how windy it was on Saturday? Man, we were out of that chili cook-off, and I tell you what, all of a sudden the wind comes in. There's tents blowing off all over the place, and it was just nuts. But that's Texas weather, isn't it? It's what we do here in San Antonio and South Texas. The weather can change on a dime like it did on Saturday. And you know where we're coming into. We've turned the clocks ahead. So you know spring is right around the corner, and with that come those spring storms. And they bring that wind. They bring the hail, the lightning, all of that kind of stuff. Look, the best thing you can do for you and your families to make sure your roof is ready for what is in store. So the second best thing you can do is call the best company in the business. That is Stevens Roofing. Look, you don't want to play around with this kind of stuff. You want to make sure that that roof is up to par. So call Stevens Roofing. They'll send a crew out, and they will give you a free roof inspection. You call them at 210-785-0994. You can also visit them online at stevensroofing.net because you don't want to let Texas weather catch you off guard. Your roof keeps your family safe. Stevens Roofing is here to make sure that you are always covered. Let them come out and take a look and make sure everything's okay. If it is, they'll wish you a nice day. If it's not, they'll tell you what's wrong and how they can make it right and get you up to par. Stevens Roofing, they're the company to call because, well, let's face it, they're protecting Texas families one roof at a time. That phone number again is 210-785-0994.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Plenty happening around the NFL today. Let's get you caught up on what the Cowboys and the Texans are doing. Cowboys lost cornerback Jordan Lewis. He's going to sign with the Jacksonville Jaguars, becoming the highest-paid nickel cornerback at 3 years, $30 million. Cowboys also lost offensive lineman Chuma Udoga. He is also headed to the Jags. The Houston Texans, they traded offensive lineman Laramie Tunsil to the Washington Commanders.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday.
Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
A lot of people have.
But more should.
We got a lot of room, though. Yeah, that's for sure.
Hit that thumbs up button while you're there. And, you know, there's times where communication could be an issue. See, we've got some 4-packs of tickets to give away to see the Gunslingers in their home opener. They take on the hated Tulsa Oilers, March 22nd at the Freeman Coliseum. I thought we had a 4-pack to give away, but apparently we have 4 4-packs to give away, and I failed to do that in the 2 o'clock hour and the 3 o'clock hour because I thought we had a 4-pack, but we've got 4 4-packs.
Plenty of time left.
Plenty of time left.
Absolutely.
So if you want the 2 o'clock 4-pack, write 2 o'clock on YouTube. If you want the 3 o'clock 4-pack, write 3 o'clock. And Pledge will get those to you.
That's all you have to do.
Simple instructions.
Wow.
If you can follow them, you'll get a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Gunslingers take on the Tulsa Oilers. See, and it's interesting because I think about the Tulsa Oilers name. Back in the Central Hockey League days, the San Antonio Iguanas used to play the Tulsa Oilers a lot in hockey. See, that's a franchise that went away, but they liked the name, so they just transferred it to another team. Now it's part of the indoor football team.
Well, that's perfect.
Yep.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what their logo is, but I mean, it probably won't be a hockey player, but I like the fact that they said, you know what, this name works. This works. Because like even the San Antonio Talons in the old Arena Football League. That is a team that moved from Tulsa to San Antonio, and in Tulsa they were the Tulsa Talons. And they came here and became the San Antonio Talons.
Oh, well.
But in Tulsa, they like that Oilers name, so they go with it.
Might as well. If you like something and it works, you go with it.
Exactly. It's interesting. Somebody is calling our line right now, and it just says U.S. government.
Yeah.
Stay efficient at work so you keep that job. Don't let Elon know that you're winning tickets while watching us on YouTube.
Well,
Just saying.
I don't know who that is. I have a guess, but I'm not sure. I have a guess because there were two people that got in first.
I think Sam works for the government.
You think so?
Hey, Uncle Sam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because Sam and Frank were the first to follow the instructions.
Well, we should be nice to Sam then, huh?
Well, it depends on what he does for the government.
Well, yeah, that's true. If he's an IRS guy.
Well, he should be busy right now.
No, not yet, right? I mean, are you busy now?
I have no idea.
That April 15th is rolling around.
Well, that's when they're not busy.
They've done.
Well, I guess the regular tax people.
I have no clue.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Good luck, Sam.
No idea. It's just weird when you see on the caller ID, U.S. government.
Well, I hope he's okay using his government-issued phone.
Well, I mean,
to call in and win tickets.
I mean, I don't know if he's doing it. Unless his caller ID, he just sets up to be like that. You know how, like, sometimes when you set up your home Wi-Fi? I used to have a Wi-Fi at our old house. It was just set up as FBI Surveillance Fan 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You did that on purpose?
Oh, we did that on purpose.
Yeah?
Because it's just kind of funny as opposed to putting just, like, Minix. Do you even know what your Wi-Fi is at the house?
The password?
No, not the password. The network. Like when people or come over to your house, they want to jump on your Wi-Fi. You've named your network, or at least your wife did.
Well, I think so. I don't know because if it goes out or I have to redo my phone or my computer, I'll ask her.
Yeah, she'll tell you.
I have no idea.
Which one is it again?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Exactly. Now, Joe's Toes points out on YouTube, government employees don't work after 2. So he's right.
Ah, that's a good point.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Although now it's 4:07. So
they've been off for 2 hours.
It is 4:07, right?
It is 4:07, yeah.
I'm just checking with the time change because I wasn't sure if the clock that we're looking in here, hats off to Greg Shelton for being Johnny on the spot and getting that fixed before we got on the air. I don't know if the morning show boys had any troubles, but last time, I think the clock was wrong for like 3 weeks before Shelton got around to fixing it.
Did you have any troubles yesterday?
No.
The time change?
No.
You're good? It was nice that it stayed light until about, 7:45.
Oh, it was nice.
Something like that.
To answer your question, I kind of had a problem, but not really had a problem. Because checkout at the hotel at the beach is at 11.
Oh.
Right? And I woke up at 10. The clock in the hotel said 9. So I thought I had plenty of time until I looked at my phone. Not that I was worried about getting out of there on time, but, the whole group talking about what time we were all going to meet for breakfast. And, I missed it because I wasn't really paying attention to time, although I wasn't really in shape to make breakfast with the group that early, and I can't believe half of those people actually did.
Well, some of them are pros, right? They know how to do it. They know how to get it done and be down for breakfast and start over. I mean, it's Sunday.
Well, some of them left the beach a lot earlier than others.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, there's one guy that had to leave, take a little nap, and then he came back.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's really not, but he really needed to go.
That's like a double, a double Saturday. You got your early Saturday, you got a nap, and you come back and
get your
close
day drunk at the beach.
Absolutely, dude. Is there anything better than that?
No.
Being at the beach about 12:30, and you're hammered already. It's great. Yeah, it's awesome. Fantastic.
It was all good until this crazy windstorm ended the party.
Dude, I'm telling you.
It was well after dark, 8, 9 o'clock, but 3 tents and a whole bunch of chairs just started flying. All 3 tents busted. The frames on those busted. And I'm just glad no chair ended up in the fire. We had a hell of a bonfire going. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
No, it's a good time. Always a good time at the beach. Did you get in the water?
No.
Why not? You didn't have to pee?
Well, there's a restroom close by.
Oh, there is?
Yes. And the water might have been a little too cold. Yeah, I was about ankle deep. I'm like, nope, I'm not going out in the water. There are a lot of people out there, but not for me. And it was weird and foggy too.
Oh yeah.
It was only clear for a couple hours. Outside of that, it was just kind of this creepy fog over the beach most of the day.
Yeah. Okay.
It didn't matter. We were all in a bit of a fog.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is how it should be.
Absolutely. Great time. Great time for sure. The latest on NFL free agency coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You ever scroll through social media only to find yourself bombarded by bad news, people in their hot takes, their comments, pictures with their picture-perfect families, people in a humble professional update? Hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing, but imagine how you would feel if you spent just 45 minutes focused on how you were doing. At Cerebral, they make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication that is personalized to you. And the best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. At times, you just got to talk to somebody, whether you're managing stress or anxiety, dealing with a life transition, struggling with sleep, a relationship. Got to focus on your mental health. And Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. Whether you need therapy, psychiatric care, or both, Cerebral connects you with expert clinicians from the comfort of your home. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral is here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall well-being. Take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral. Make time for Mind Time.
San Antonio, are you ready? The 2025 NCAA Men's Final Four is coming to the Alamo City. The NCAA Men's Final Four Fan Fest, presented by Capital One, brings fun for all ages. Fan Fest is a sports wonderland of interactive games with celebrity and athlete appearances, giveaways, and much more. Come ready to play April 4th through the 7th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. The event is free for kids 12 and under, Capital One card holders, military personnel, and 2025 Final Four ticket holders. Visit ncaa.com/men's Final Four.
George gets justice. When you've been injured, you need to get George Salinas Injury Lawyers, because you need someone who understands your pain and the impact an accident has on your life. You need someone who listens and is always there fighting for you and your future. When you get George Salinas Injury Lawyers, you get all this and more. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. And remember, you won't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas at 210-225-0909. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. It's Monday.
It is. It's all right, though. It's been a good Monday.
You know, it's hard to call this a mellow Monday on this free agency frenzy kind of day, although it is a mellow Monday in the fact that we have a $50 gift card to give away to Mellow Mushroom. Great time out there on Friday.
Fantastic. The food was excellent. Outstanding. Everybody enjoying happy hour out there as well, which goes on every day, correct?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah. Their half-price happy hour is happening now at Mellow Mushroom.
That's got to be one of the best happy hours in town.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Not that we get to go enjoy happy hours because we work, but you guys can. And watch us on YouTube while you're sitting there at the bar. If you're doing that, let us know.
Good idea.
But we got a $50 gift card to give away right now. We're going to do a little bit of trivia. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you want to win a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom, grab a phone line now. We've got questions we will ask you coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, while Pledge gets everybody lined up on the phones at 210-656-3776. Let's kind of recap where we are right now in free agency. Some of the bigger moves. The biggest move there. I don't know. What's a bigger move? The Cleveland deal or the Josh Allen deal?
I think it's got to be Cleveland. I can understand. Although Buffalo is they didn't have to do that. Dude still had 4 years left on his existing deal. So both surprising. But I think with the way we ended things on Friday, it didn't look like all was well in Clevelandville with Myles, Garrett, and the Browns.
And again, you think about Myles Garrett, who wanted to win like nobody's business, heard $40 million a year and said, "Where do I sign?" Right? That's what happened there.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to pay me how much? Well, I love Cleveland. The Josh Allen deal is there, but some of the moves of people changing, with the trade Friday night, almost immediately after our show ended Friday, Geno Smith gets traded from Seattle to the Raiders. And I think we all knew at that point Sam Darnold was going to end up in Seattle. He does 3 years, $110.5 million, with 55 of that guaranteed.
And good for Sam Darnold. He made himself some money with the Minnesota Vikings last year. They wanted to keep him, but I'm sure they didn't want to pay that much, and especially for that long when you've got J.J. McCarthy sitting in the wings. Drafted the kid to be the guy, and so now he's going to have to be the guy. But good for Sam Darnold. I think a good move for both. Geno Smith gets reunited with Pete Carroll with the Raiders, and they've got some stability there while they wait and see. Wouldn't surprise me if they still go ahead and draft, say, as Shedeur Sanders and let him understudy under Geno for a couple of years. I think it'd be a good thing for certainly for Shedeur.
Well, and for Pete Carroll, we know he's not the long-term answer at his age for the Raiders. So come in, change the culture, build it the way Tom Brady wants it, and Shedeur is there, and does that open the door for Dion in a couple of years after Shedeur has been established a little bit as an NFL player? Because a lot easier for Dion to go get a job where his kid already has one, if ultimately that's the way it is. Justin Fields, he gets a big deal to go to the New York Jets. So he leaves Pittsburgh, and it seemed like Pittsburgh, and I find this weird, Pittsburgh was trying to get Fields to stay, but he wouldn't stay with Pittsburgh unless he was the starter. And he strung Pittsburgh along enough because he couldn't talk to other teams until the official window opened, right? Watching Get Up this morning because we couldn't pay attention to Twitter because Twitter was down this morning, which screwed up everybody in trying to keep up with all the NFL stuff. But now, where do the Steelers turn? Could it be Aaron Rodgers? Do they bring Russell Wilson back, who's a name that you're not hearing a lot of right now as you look at all the spots where you thought he could end up? Other people have taken those jobs.
They have, but it seems like that's Pittsburgh's only opportunity, right? I mean, those two guys are both old guys. One of them's very salty, and so I don't know what I don't know what Pittsburgh's going to do. I mean, I think if you're Pittsburgh, you got to look at drafting a quarterback either way, right? And let him sit either under Aaron or under Russell. At this point in time, if you're a Steeler fan, you'd probably rather have Aaron Rodgers because somebody new is better than the other guy that you're just not quite sure that can do it.
The fact that Pittsburgh never went back to Justin Fields last year when Russell Wilson was struggling, but they make the deal and they get DK Metcalf. They give up a second-round pick and give DK Metcalf 5 years, $150 million. So now you got Pickens and Metcalf. Will they get Najee Harris re-signed becomes a question because they do have a running back, but does Harris leave or what are they going to do at the running back position? You look at that Pittsburgh defense, it seems like they've got everything on that roster except a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. Russell showed us last year he couldn't with that same roster. Can Aaron Rodgers? And when you look at the way Aaron Rodgers played down the stretch last year, while Russell Wilson got worse as the season went on, Aaron Rodgers got better. And as much as I know you don't like the guy and as much as I don't like the guy, if he could play at that level with the Pittsburgh roster, that might be the difference maker for Pittsburgh making a legit run as opposed to in the playoffs and out in the first round, which has been their MO.
It has. They've made the playoffs. I don't know what their streak is, but it's an incredible streak. They just can't really get past the first round. Look, Aaron Rodgers will probably be fine there, but again, you've got to plan for the future. So if you're Pittsburgh, you're looking at, okay, we want either Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers for a year, possibly two, and then we've got to think about the future. Or do you make a trade? You just look around some of these NFL rosters, and I don't know if these guys are any good, but a guy like Sam Howell, for example, he's kind of disappeared on the Seattle Seahawks roster. Do you go out and make a trade for a guy like that or look into somebody like that versus drafting somebody? Because, look, this is not a great quarterback draft, especially if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers team who's not going to be drafting for a little while. I don't know. They're in a bind, that's for sure. Although, did you hear Ben Roethlisberger? He was saying, man, when you got Pickett on one end and then Metcalf on the other, he said, sign me up. I want to come back and play.
Well, and again, that's why, if you're Aaron Rodgers, Pittsburgh is very attractive. And we know Aaron Rodgers can be a good cold weather quarterback. He's played his entire career with his home stadium outdoors because that would be one of the other questions about, playing in Pittsburgh. So I think he answers that question. You look at his buddy, Devontae Adams, going to the Rams.
Wow.
So Puka on one side, Devontae on the other. Cooper Kupp, oh, man, got to go. But, I mean, And Cooper Kupp is going to be one of those kind of tier 2, tier 3 signings, even though he thinks he's got 4 solid years left. His recent history says the Rams said, you're not worth it. Not that kind of money. We can't rely on you because you're always broken down. But if you're Matt Stafford, now you've got a Devontae Adams on the other side of Puka. That's a hell of a receiving core.
I guarantee you. And we said it in the group chat that I thought, and you agreed. Tell me if I read that wrong, but I think the Rams made the best move yesterday with that Devontae Adams signing. I mean, my goodness, that team has got to be the class of the NFC West right now. I don't think there's any question about it. With Stafford back and healthy and what they've got in that young defense that they've got that played so well last year, that's going to be a difficult team to deal with coming in the future with both of those guys on the outside. Stafford's got to be loving life right now.
Oh, absolutely. And now I don't know what to make of San Francisco yet, to say, are they the class of the West or is it the Rams? The Rams right now, they're making moves to overtake San Francisco. And I know San Francisco had a crap year last year, but Christian McCaffrey didn't play. All the different things that went wrong for San Francisco last year, those don't seem like the kind of issues that are going to carry over into next. But they got to get Brock Purdy taken care of as well, or figure out what they're going to do with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, you're going to have to. And look, with San Francisco, who knows what they're going to do? Are they dangling Brock Purdy out there somewhere, maybe? And a team like Pittsburgh, perhaps. A team like Tennessee, who I'm just reading on Twitter is showing some interest in Russell Wilson, of all people. So the quarterback carousel continues in the NFL. But look, if I'm San Francisco, I like Brock Purdy. I'm a Brock Purdy fan. He's not an elite quarterback by any stretch of the imagination, but I think he can get the job done if he's got the players around him. So if you're San Francisco, you don't want to pay this guy whatever you think you're going to have to pay him, $50 to $60 million a year. Dangle him out there and see who bites. Somebody might. A Pittsburgh might. A Tennessee might. There are teams out there that are quarterback needy and just might take a chance on a Brock Purdy and pay him a decent salary.
Well, when you look at Sam Darnold's had one good year, one really good year in the NFL, and he's got $55 million guaranteed. There's always that risk that you look at Kirk Cousins, who left Minnesota for Atlanta with $100 million guaranteed dollars and didn't even make it through the season. And as of now, is going to stay there as their backup, which tells me that Atlanta either isn't really 100% sold on Penix, which I think they are, or nobody's willing to make a trade and take on that Kirk Cousins salary. Yet it doesn't feel like these teams take a little pause when you look at what Sam is getting, or even Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields is a 2-year deal with only $30 million guaranteed. So if he's not right for the Jets, they can move on from him pretty quick. But it is so crazy when you're looking at everybody trying to find that next quarterback. You know, Will Levis, clearly not the guy in Tennessee if they're kicking the tires on Russell Wilson. But what do the Titans do with Will Levis? Do they just cut him? Can they trade him to somebody? The Giants, I know they're bringing back DeVito, but he's not a starter.
No,
so
not
who's
at all.
going to be the starter for the Giants?
That's a good question. And then you still have Danny Dimes out there floating around, right? I mean, back up in Minnesota.
Yeah.
What do you do with him now? Minnesota may want to keep him if they're going to start a rookie quarterback and have him there in the building just in case. But there are some quarterbacks out there. It's just a matter of who do you want to take a chance on. And I think of Will Levis. Look, the guy got every opportunity, and he's just too erratic. But he's one of those guys that I think's got the talent. He's got to end up in the right spot. And obviously Tennessee's not the right spot. Because, look, if you're bringing in a Russell Wilson, if that happens for Tennessee, he's certainly not a long-term answer. So you've either got to think about a Cam Ward in the first round or, certainly in the next year or two, you got to draft another quarterback and figure out what you got.
Crazy times for sure.
No doubt.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Let's give away the $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Let's see. Ricky has been on hold the longest. Ricky, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
What's up, Jason and Joe?
What's going on? Happy Monday to you.
Got off of work.
Yeah.
Happy Monday. Just got off of work.
Good
Feeling
for
a
you.
little great right now.
Well, hopefully you've been off work long enough to have been listening to know the answer to this, because we just talked about it a little while ago. Who was the last player the Cowboys signed in free agency from another team that got more than $6 million a year?
Last free agent that the Cowboys signed that got more than $6 million?
More than $6 million a year, signed from another team, not a homegrown guy.
Shoot. I'm going to go out on a hunch and say Terrell Owens.
All right,
You know
well,
what? Yeah, I mean, you're going way back, but you didn't have to go that far back. Hey, Fred, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Not much, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Good,
You're a great
fantastic.
show as usual.
All right, Fred.
You ready?
Yeah, you know the answer to that?
Brandon Carr.
Brandon Carr is incorrect, my friend.
What?
Incorrect. That was a good try, though. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Let's see, two people hung up because they don't know the answer, and they know they don't know the answer. Pledge, tell me when line one's ready to go. All right. How do you say that?
Arky?
Arky. Is that how you say that? Arky?
Hey, Arky.
Arky hung up. Arky was scared, too.
Yeah.
Arky was scared. Don't be scared when you're calling. It's just us.
We're harmless.
And 100,000 of your closest friends.
We are harmless.
Hearing you get questions wrong. But you would be the one that would get the $50 gift card to the Mellow Mushroom.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Let's take a quick break, line up those phone lines, and give you the latest on the Cowboys coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Curry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
Wow! Most cars and trucks can get premium ceramic window film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint, starting at just $199. Don't wait! Protect your ride today. Our competitors charge hundreds more, but at Mother's, you get the best quality and value. Call now or visit motherswindowtint.com to schedule your installation. With up to 60 different film options, we've got the perfect fit for every car and budget. Stop by one of our locations and see the difference for yourself. Want to boost your vehicle's security? We've got you covered with advanced systems starting at just $399. Call 210-213-2118 today and ask about our alarm specials. Since 1984, we've been the home of the tint and alarm special. Don't wait. Visit Mother's Window Tint today. Call now or go online to book your service. Your car deserves it. Mother's Window Tint. Since 1984. Call or visit motherswindowtint.com. That's motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. What? They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. $149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
Or you could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
With conference championships just around the corner, now's the time to register for Twin Peaks $1 Million Bracket Challenge. Go sign up at TwinPeaksBracketChallenge.com and fill out your bracket before the tournament tips on March the 20th. Enter for a chance to win $2 million and other epic prizes, including $50 gift cards to the top bracket from every Twin Peaks lodge. Step up your game at Twin Peaks with 29-degree cold beer, handcrafted cocktails, and scratch kitchen-made food to satisfy your every craving. Only at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Choose Syntec full synthetic motor oil designed for today's engines exclusively at your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
Oh, 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 O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Monday.
Exciting Monday in the NFL.
Lots going on.
Lots happening.
I imagine we'll talk all about it on April 14th at our golf tournament, Spring Golf Classic, presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Get signed up now. SASportsStar.com.
Going to be a lot of fun. That's about a month away. Almost, give or take.
It's the April 10th.
Yeah, so about a month away and 4 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give or take.
Give or take.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Not bad.
A lot closer to selling out than not. So get your team signed up. SASportsStar.com. All right, let's see. People have had plenty of time to Google. Should I change the question or go with the same question?
I'd go with the same question.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Ted, do you want a new question or the same question?
Let's go with the same question.
Was that because you Googled it?
No, I didn't Google, but I was listening to you guys earlier, and I heard a couple of names that y'all mentioned, so.
All right, good luck.
All right, so you remember the question, or do I need to repeat the question?
You said something about a free agent for $6 million that the Cowboys have signed since I forget what year.
Well, the year is part of the answer.
Okay.
No, it's
not.
Who's the player?
Who's the player?
I want to say y'all mentioned Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy.
That's it.
Yeah. What team was he coming from and what year? Because I know you Googled it. Now, if you would have just said, "Yeah, dude,
No.
I Googled it during the break. Give me the $50," we'd say, "Cool. At least you're honest."
No, I didn't, but I think, didn't he play for the Panthers one time?
He did.
He did. There you go.
Yeah, I remember Greg
He
Hardy.
was listening to us.
And then he also went on to boxing, for boxing and MMA, I believe, or something like that.
Well, and you remember in 2015, congrats, Ted, you win a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Pledge is going to get some info from you. I wonder if all these other people are all mad.
Are they mad?
Well, they're kind of like that team that entered non-chili in a chili cook-off and are pissed that they didn't win.
It was delicious.
The fact that your phone keeps blowing up.
It was delicious. Best carne asada I've ever had. I'm telling you, it was fantastic.
Why did they think that was okay for a chili cook-off?
Well, they won last year.
Well,
so I don't know who the judges were last year, but I need to have a talk with them. But
all those judges got fired, which is why they replaced the judges this year with people that know what chili is.
Me and Rob Thompson and
some other dude.
Yeah, no, the young lady.
All right.
Very nice.
Yeah, what's her name?
Yes, very nice. It was delicious. I mean, they brought us in these styrofoam cups, right, with the samples.
Uh-huh.
I ate the entire styrofoam cup. I'm going, man, I wish I had a tortilla.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't. And, the guy that was running the chili cook-off should have had provided tortillas.
He should have.
He should have.
Slacker.
And a little cheddar cheese.
Well,
that would have been perfect.
Which is also perfect if you're sorry, I got distracted by breaking news.
Yeah, I see
cheese
that too.
and chili. So a guy that was rumored to be on the Cowboys' radar is now with the Colts on a 3-year deal worth up to $60 million, 35 guaranteed, including 20 at signing. Charvarius Ward now off the board.
Former 49ers cornerback headed to the Indianapolis Colts. And as I see this, Tom Pelissaro tweeted that out. Shane Carter, our good friend, said Cowboys were never going to do that. And he's right. They weren't. The Cowboys are not going to spend that much money in free agency. They're just not going to do it.
No. And the question that I have, though, why were the Cowboys listed as rumored interest if they weren't going to be in that neighborhood?
Good question.
Now, unless maybe they're trying to unload Diggs in some way and they need to replace him. Or maybe they're closer to a deal with Micah than what we publicly know, and they do have some money to go spend, because Ward is the kind of player that you could pay that kind of money for. He's that level of talent. So when I first saw that, Cowboys, it's one thing with free agents. They know they can always drive up the price to a degree. with by mentioning Cowboys, but everybody in the world knows, including the Colts, Cowboys aren't going to pay that. So you kind of lose a little interest. Trades, oh, you got an extra 4th-round pick, man. They'll take a Jonathan Mingo. Let's throw the Cowboys out there because that could happen. So, I mean, the fact that the Cowboys were in this conversation, I'm curious if that was real or just knowing that you get a lot more interest if you mention the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, that's always possible. That's always possible. I think my face would hit the floor. I'd faint if we get news today or sometime this week that the Cowboys have signed anybody for $20 million a year. I think I would faint. I just don't think they're into it. But that's the kind of move, especially now. You lose Lewis. You don't have Trayvon Diggs. You get a quality player like that. It's frustrating as hell.
Well,
I mean, it really is.
And again, if you're a Texan fan, there's a solid corner now in the AFC South.
Yes, there is.
The Texans, though, according to Ian Rappaport, signing pass rusher Darrell Taylor. 1 year, $5 million deal. Not a bad pickup. That's the kind of move I actually expect from the Cowboys, right? A tier 2 or 3 player getting tier 2 or 3 money.
Jason, just once, let Jerry go out of his norm. Just once. I mean, just make me happy, Jerry. I'll get off Dak's back for, 5 minutes.
No, you won't.
Five minutes.
Lie.
Here we go. That's all.
No. I don't have a liar anywhere on here, do I?
5 minutes.
We're going to be selectively aggressive.
And that is exactly what the Cowboys have done. I mean, all the deals that you've seen today, including Jordan Lewis, the Cowboys aren't doing that. And if you think realistically the Cowboys would or should, I don't know. I mean, Jordan Lewis at that number, based on the numbers I was reading last week, I don't see the Cowboys paying that. Now, seeing Jordan Lewis's number and then seeing what Morin got from the Panthers, $20 million more than J. Lou, I kind of wish, the Cowboys could have kept him, right?
Yes.
If the market was 51 and Jacksonville got Lewis for 30, but last week he was valued at $5 to $6 million a year, and essentially he's getting $10 million a year on a 3-year deal from the Jaguars.
Well, what this tells me is exactly, and it's the mindset of Jerry Jones. He believes that he can draft people and plug them in, and they're going to be just fine. I mean, that's obviously what he believes. We just had a trivia question with somebody that they haven't been a free agent player since 2015, paid over $6 million for a player. He thinks he can draft and plug these rookies in, and they're going to be just fine. And it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. And it's baffling to me.
Well,
it really is.
And again, right now, Jerry, if he were near a microphone, would say they can't because they put handcuffs on themselves because, they got to make sure they got all the money for Micah Parsons when Micah gets that deal done. And again, if the Cowboys truly had interest in Ward, if it's a big if, underline it 3 times, if, that does tell me, though, that maybe they're being a little bit more selectively aggressive because who knows how far along they were. But if he's getting a 3-year deal worth up to $60 million with 20 at signing, 35 of that guaranteed, if the Cowboys were at all going back and forth, here's a number, there's a number, everybody gets a number, they knew what neighborhood that was in, and I don't know that it gets reported that there's interest if the Cowboys weren't, at the very least, having conversations, knowing what the dollar was. Going back to last year, they didn't know what the dollar was, but said Derrick Henry was too expensive. So this year, were they at the very least entertaining a deal like that? I mean, at some point it got too rich for their blood, but they do have the cap space.
Well, Jerry might have had an incentive-laden deal laid out there. for Ward, and it was they probably paid him more, but it's all these incentives that he needed to hit. Again, Jerry got a win with Osa, and now he's emboldened. Every free agent now is going to have to meet an incentive-laden deal to be a member of the Dallas Cowboys, because after all, everybody wants to be a Dallas Cowboy.
Well, I mean, does Dre Greenlaw want to be a Cowboy?
No.
I mean,
he might.
I mean, and Greenlaw at least has green in his name because it's all about the green. It's not about winning. It's not. Ask Myles Garrett. It's about the money. When it's all said and done, it is about the money. And you're going to the highest offer. No different if you're trying to, sell a car, sell the house, whatever the case is, you're going to the highest bidder. Jordan Lewis, highest bidder was Jacksonville. Jacksonville also took on Chuma Adoga, although I'm still trying to find numbers.
I haven't seen any either.
On Chuma.
I haven't seen any either, but again, that's a position for the Cowboys that they need, depth-wise anyway. You can say the starters are there, and quite frankly they are, but you still need some depth behind those guys. And Chuma Edoga was a solid replacement for Tyler Guyton last year when Guyton wasn't playing well. I don't know. I try to figure Jerry out. I can't. Don't know what he's going to do. I hope he does something. But obviously, all in, I think we got that wrong again.
Well, no.
Jerry didn't say that, by the way, this year.
No.
Your definition of what is all in and mine might not be the same thing.
Again, his definition of all in was signing his guys and making sure the guys he drafted and developed and paid, unless your name is Jordan Lewis, because you didn't pay that guy. And while it's frustrating as a Cowboy fan, you're frustrated and you're not even a Cowboy fan.
I'm frustrated because I would like for this team to actually win. It'd be kind of nice.
But you are a Cowboy fan.
Well, they're good for business.
You're a Cowboy fan.
Sure, they're good for business.
Right?
Yes.
But think about it like this, in a weird way. We're all frustrated today, or at least I am. And I think I speak for most Cowboy fans, because you want the Cowboys to do something. And we all would have been shocked if they actually did something today. It's Tier 1 day. The fact that their name was mentioned with Ward is surprising. Was that a leak from the Cowboys or the agent? Normally the agent. But again, I don't know, mentioning the Cowboys this time of year drives it up because nobody's expecting them to do anything.
Exactly.
Unless there was some serious consideration and tire kicking on that level.
No, there may have been. That's highly possible. Look, the Cowboys need help there at the corner position. They need some help. And it'd be nice to have a veteran guy like that, a proven guy that could come in here. But I would have been shocked. I guarantee I'd have fainted on the floor if you'd have told me the Cowboys have reached a deal with Javarius Ward for $20 million or whatever he ended up getting, 35, whatever the terms were. I'd have hit the floor. And you would have too.
Yep.
Both of us would have been shocked.
Oh, dude, we'd celebrate because that would be, well, unlike the Cowboys.
Very unlike
the
Cowboys.
And interesting trade, Kenny Pickett traded from the Eagles to the Browns. Tanner McKee's going to back up Jalen Hurts. The Browns are going with Kenny Pickett.
Well, I mean, look, I think it's not a horrible move. They need somebody, and they don't want to bring in an old guy like Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. So you get a Kenny Pickett in there who came out with some at least people thought he could play, and maybe he sat around long enough and he'll be okay. But, Cleveland is where quarterbacks go to die. So Kenny Pickett, rest in peace, my friend.
Well, I mean, is Rappaport adding that Dorian Thompson-Robinson and a fifth-round pick going back to Philly?
That is correct,
Okay.
Yes. And that had to be a throw-in. And nothing against this guy. I don't know that much about him, but he was with Cleveland, which I take it with a grain of salt, but he was awful last year. Robinson.
Interesting moves. All right, it's 4:54. Will the Cowboys do something before 6? That becomes the question. Will they get something done before 6 o'clock?
I'll take the under.
Yeah.
And what is that, half?
It's crazy. Spurs do play tonight. They've got the Mavericks. If you're playing on the Pick'em game on Underdog, which you should because it's so much fun to play, and quite frankly, the only way to make Spurs games interesting right now, what has worked for me the last couple of games and winning money on Underdog, because the Spurs are so bad defensively, take higher on point totals of whoever they're playing. Now, with the Mavericks tonight, I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but the Spurs don't play defense. So if you're picking somebody on the Mavs tonight, you definitely want to go higher with some of that. It's so much fun to play on Underdog. All you got to do is go higher or lower on predicted stats. You can do some college basketball. You can do NBA, big NHL matchup tonight. You can mix and match leagues. It's a ton of fun to play, and you can win real cash. Download the Underdog app. Sign up now using my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code STAR. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today. Carbach Brewing was not born in San Antonio, Texas, but they have certainly gone out of their way to make San Antonio their second home. We had the head brewer come in, and he said when they first started to reach outside of Houston, San Antonio was the place they wanted to be, and does it show. Carbach beer is all over our great city, from their in-your-face flagship IPA, Hopadillo, to the Ziegenbach, to their bestseller, the Love Street, their Kolsch-style blonde. There is something for everyone in Carbach's lineup, and it is
all over the place. Of course, you're going to find it at the grocery stores. Of course, you're going to find it at the liquor stores, but it's also at a bunch of bars and restaurants around town. They wanted to make this their second home, and that's what it's become. So when you're out, you're watching the games at your local sports bar, your local restaurant, your local hangout, you're thinking, I want to elevate my beer game a little bit. Well, friend, wherever you're at, they probably have some Carbach either on tap or in cans. So when you're out and about doing your thing, go ahead and make sure to ask your bartender to please make it a Carbach.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Lots of activity in the NFL today. Let's start with the Houston Texans. They've traded offensive lineman Laramie Tunsil to the Washington Commanders. Texans are signing defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins on a one-year deal worth up to $7 million, and former Miami Dolphins wide receiver Braxton Berrios to a one-year, $2 million deal. Cowboys, they lost a couple of guys. Jordan Lewis and Chuma Udoga both headed to the Jags.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on this free agent frenzy kind of day. And it's just getting started. I mean, this is day one.
It's not even the real thing.
Well, it is. It's the legal tampering period.
So you can reach agreement, but
Yes.
you can't sign until Wednesday.
And I tell you what, the Houston Texans
We're going to be selectively aggressive.
are doing just that. They just signed Justin Watson. He was with the Chiefs. That's actually a sneaky good signing. I haven't seen numbers on that one. Have you, Pledge? So they got a pass rusher and a Watson, a wide receiver, in the last, 10, 15 minutes.
That's true, and but they did trade away their offensive, the anchor of their offensive line, Laramie Tunsil.
That one will go down as, I don't want to say one of the biggest shocking moves today. It might be. It's certainly the biggest shocking move from a Texas NFL team. Let's go with that. Because I'm waiting to see what the next part of that deal is. Because Laramie Tunsil traded to Washington. So you think about a pass protector for Jaden Daniels and the kind of offense they go with. If he can stay in a stance long enough for the right amount of time, that could be a good deal for Washington, which sucks if you're a Cowboy fan. But if you're the Texans, well, what's next? Because that was a bad offensive line last year, and he was their best offensive lineman. Something's up.
Yeah, something's got to be up, right? I mean, they got to be doing something. But I know they're very disappointed in their offensive line play last year. Shaq Mason, they already let go. Now Laramie Tunsil is gone. What do? Do they go out and get somebody in the free agent market, or are they going to rely on rookies that they're going to draft? It's going to be interesting to see.
Well, and again, you look at Houston, Nick Caserio doing good work today. Watson is just one of those solid guys, and surprised Kansas City let him go. But at the same time, Kansas City is, I mean, it's kind of like when they let, Tyreek Hill go. I mean, it's interesting how Kansas City operates to be able to stay afloat, and I'm guessing whatever happened with Xavier Worthy this weekend, they're not worried about him missing time. The Chiefs are with some sort of suspension, because that was just a bizarre story, and Worthy certainly benefiting from it being free agent Monday, because nobody is talking about that story and the weirdness that went along with it today because of all the free agent moves. But clearly, Hollywood Brown coming back, Worthy probably not going to face any kind of lengthy suspension or a suspension at all, and they could afford to let Watson go, who was underutilized there with Kansas City.
Yeah, and no doubt. So I'm sure he's happy to get out, have an opportunity to go to Houston and make some noise there. But Xavier Worthy, that's just a crazy story.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on with these Texas Longhorns. I mean, you got one guy, you got a punter in Baltimore who's grabbing masseuses. And now this guy
is a kicker.
I don't know what the hell is going on with these guys, but
what the hell is going on with these guys?
Man, these guys, I just don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's not going to be charged, right? So he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Yep. You look at, I don't know, like Ben Briseno, he's a big Texans fan. Texans traded away Mr. False Start. If you're getting rid of Laramie Tunsil, don't you plan on getting something better in return? And are you going to find somebody better? But to make a move like that, and that's a ballsy move by Nick Caserio, especially when the bulk and the real value of that trade isn't until next year's draft, a 2nd and 4th next year. Well, they get a 3rd and 7th this year, and they lost this year's 4th. So the main value, unless you're going to use next year's 2nd to make another trade with somebody, a very interesting move, because it starts up front. I mean, you've got to be able to protect C.J. Stroud. I don't know. I mean, coaches always seem to think they can coach false starts out of somebody, and obviously in Washington they think they can, but it's going to be interesting to see ultimately what they end up pulling off.
Well, look, for an offensive line that was as bad as the Houston Texans, that is a ballsy move because, look, it's still Laramie Tunsil. And, okay, you can call him Mr. False Start, that's fine. But going to Washington, if he doesn't do that and turns into the guy you think he is or should be, you're going to regret that. So I hope that there's something there, because right now that offensive line is worse than it was, believe it or not.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you're without 2 of your starters. So you've got to replace those guys. And I hate to say it, I know I say it all the time, you just don't know if you're going to be able to do that or not, or if the guys you replace them with are going to be any better than the 2 you let go. So especially Laramie Tunsil. The Shaq Mason thing I don't have a problem with. But Laramie Tunsil, that's a ballsy move.
I will say the one thing Laramie Tunsil has done like clockwork since arriving in Houston is become the highest paid offensive tackle every year with a year left on his contract, and he's about to go into the final year of his deal. So I expect a new contract that makes him the highest paid left tackle in Washington.
So do you think that maybe his agent called and said, time to do us like the Bills did Josh Allen and get a deal done early, and Nick said no?
I think that's a very high possibility.
And again, Nick doesn't do that unless there was a threat of a holdout, if he was going to pull an old Dwayne Brown type move. But he's got to be able to replace him. And the trade compensation doesn't seem to add up for that to be a quick deal to throw together. But I look at what Washington has done so far this offseason. So they add Tunsil today to go along with Deebo Samuel. They re-signed Bobby Wagner. They re-signed their tight end, Zach Ertz. They continue to make moves. And they're acting like a team in the NFC East that is trying to keep up with the current Super Bowl champions. Dallas, They re-signed their long snapper.
That's an important position.
I mean, it really is, especially if you plan on punting a lot.
Yes, exactly.
But they have not yet re-signed their punter, who is also a free agent.
Uh-huh.
Can Brandon Aubrey do both?
Probably. Again, it's only Monday. It's only Monday. I'm going to keep my temperament cool when it comes to Jerry and the Cowboys. Our good friend R.J. Ochoa, I find him comical because
I'm sure he's salty today.
Well, I don't know, salty. I think he still has hope.
Oh,
because he was
first time in a long time.
The two big free agent guys that the Cowboys were linked to. Ward was one, and then obviously Greenlaw's the other one. And so he wrote on there, Ward, well, not going to happen, but still Greenlaw. And I said, well, that ain't going to happen either.
Well, I mean, I guess it might, because earlier today Greenlaw was linked to, 3 or 4 different teams, and nobody has tweeted out that he is signed. Now, earlier today, nobody could tweet out, which was a big problem in the NFL. It is kind of comical, because I know I couldn't have been the only one checking Twitter and going, what's wrong? And I was like, is it my phone? I go to my laptop. It's not loading there. And then I go to Threads to find out that Twitter's down, but everything was happening over on Threads, which was the first time I'd been on Threads in a while. I had to dust off the cobwebs on Threads to keep up with stuff until Twitter got going again. NFL Network insider Mike Garofalo was talking on NFL Network about the bleep storm that Twitter being down was causing for the NFL.
I also have a bunch of agents and team types are hitting us up like, what are you guys doing? Because they follow this stuff just as much as we do. So when X goes down, they're operating without a net here. They have no idea where to find all this stuff. So that's what we're working on right now, trying to figure out how to communicate to one another, kind of like we did 10 years ago.
It's he's right. What did we do 10 years ago without Twitter? But Twitter has become the breaking news platform of sports. I mean, it really has. If you want to see breaking news, you go to Twitter. So when it was down, I know the NFL itself was upset that Twitter was down. So interesting stuff. I'm glad it's back up. Was it hacked? Did we know what happened to this thing?
I don't know. I'm server down. Let's do a little maintenance on a Monday morning on what is going to be a big day in the NFL and send everybody over to Threads. That couldn't have been Elon's plan.
I wouldn't think so.
No.
Wouldn't think so at all.
No, not at all. Getting official word now, Garrett Cole will have Tommy John surgery.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was rumored, right?
That was rumored. Garrett Cole will have Tommy John surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys, well, they're doing exactly what Jerry said they were going to do when he said, I wouldn't use the term aggressive. That's probably not the right word. Jerry doing what he said he was going to do, and you're mad at him. Last year he said all in, and he didn't do it, and we were mad at him. Now he's doing exactly what he said. Let's talk about what they haven't done. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. In the meantime, let's give away a 4-pack of tickets to go see the San Antonio Gunslingers in their home opener coming up on March 22nd at the Freeman Coliseum. You want to go? Be caller number 9 right now, and those tickets are yours. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios, big job, small job, residential, or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. They'll provide estimates. They have no commission sales reps. Need a second opinion? Call Quartermoon. But it is that time of year where it's nice outside right now, but you know the oven is going to be on soon. You want to make sure your AC is ready to go. And Quartermoon, they've got a pre-summer AC inspection for just $58.99, where they'll inspect your capacitor, indoor coil, outdoor coil, filter inspection and check all the proper temperature levels to make sure you're good to go. Great Maintenance Programs ensures your unit is ready for every season. Take advantage of this special. Call Quartermoon 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Ready for the ultimate sports fan getaway? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is headed to Vegas, and we're bringing you along. Why? Because watching the games from your couch in sweatpants just isn't the same. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz for a Mega March weekend you'll never forget or possibly remember. We're talking Vegas here. March 27th through the 30th, we're hitting up Circa Las Vegas for opening day. And the second weekend of the tournament, a.k.a. Sports Heaven, baby. Thursday, March 27th, the party starts with baseball's opening day at the world's largest sports book. That's right, big screens, big games, and big opinions from Jason and Joe. It's basically like watching sports at home, but with no chores and way more pools. Speaking of pools, dive into 6 of them at Stadium Swim and catch all the action on a 143-foot screen. Lock in now. Go to CircaLasVegas.com. Use promo code BLITZ and party with Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, pools, Vegas. What could possibly go wrong?
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has 18 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
The Valero Texas Open is a can't-miss event. Here's your chance to enjoy food, drinks, and the world's best PGA Tour pros as they tee it up at TPC San Antonio. You won't want to miss the next defining, unexpected, and winning moments at the Valero Texas Open. Proceeds help us continue a long-standing tradition of giving back to our community. Buy tickets on ValeroTexasOpen.com and join us April 3rd through the 6th.
Boys, if you're seeing this, the unthinkable has happened.
Bubba's dead?
This is how your father's business works. The life of crime and the life of this deli.
You were born into this. Dad was a murderer. We could go to jail.
We're innocent.
We'd be the first innocent brown people in jail. Oh my God.
There's a gun in the credenza. Finish him off now.
What?
What part of this are you not understanding?
Credenza, if I'm being honest, I don't think I know what that is.
Deli Boys. All episodes are now streaming on Hulu.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's Power Torque Tools DIY Days at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Lifetime guaranteed Power Torque professional hand tools only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, 149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. 149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Let Popeyes do the fishing while you enjoy our signature seafood that you'll love, like our delicious flounder fish sandwich or crispy shrimp tackle box. So come give them a try before they're gone, y'all. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants.
Howdy, San Antonio. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're locked on the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Free agent frenzy going on. Going to be a fun next couple of days.
A lot of great memes floating around, too, about the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones.
They're doing nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Jerry Jones living up to his word. I retweeted another one that just said, no moves with a bunch of crying emojis.
I don't think aggressive is the right word.
Well, he's right.
I mean,
we're going to be selectively aggressive.
He's not even selectively aggressive.
It makes no sense. In a lot of ways, it makes zero sense whatsoever. You know what the market is. And if you have the intel and you know what the market is, none of this should be surprising. So the Jordan Lewis deal seems like the market was 5 to 6 a week ago. His projected annual salary a week ago on one of the gazillion sites that you read going into free agency. And he ends up with $10 million a year from Jacksonville. I can understand Jerry not doing that, but then when I see Morrig, the former Smithson Valley Ranger, signed for $51 million, he's also a safety. I think the $30 million now seems like a bit of a bargain, does it not?
Yes.
Right.
Sounds like a hell of a bargain.
All right. So, I think a Jordan Lewis is a locker room guy. Sometimes you pay for that. And who knows, because Stephen Jones did say last week that they were talking to the free agents that they wanted to keep. I believe Jordan Lewis was a part of that when he was naming names. But if they went with a offer that was kind of on those projections, and then Jordan Lewis gets an offer from Jacksonville that's way above that, I can't be mad at Jordan Lewis for taking the most money. And if they called the Cowboys back and say, here's our offer from Jacksonville, then the Cowboys have to decide no, and clearly they did, or did they even get an opportunity to match? And we don't know that.
Well, no, we don't know that. But now you've got who's playing cornerback? You got Kalen Carson is your best corner right now.
Well, Deron Bland.
All right, Deron Bland. Scary, huh? Trayvon Diggs is not coming back this year.
No, but
for all intents and purposes.
But I mean, they did re-sign a Marquise Bell. He got a deal done.
Yes.
So they have done some. But you even look at like simple stuff, like they re-signed the long snapper, but Brian Anger has yet to sign, and he's a weapon. So you would think he would be a priority, but if somebody's going to overpay for your punter, are you going to go with him, or are you going to find another punter, right? I mean, and again, we're talking about a punter. Brandon Aubrey, that would be another conversation, although you wonder when he's due for big money, will the Cowboys actually give him big money?
Well, who knows? I would think that they would, but you never know with Jerry. The punter I'm not worried about. They're a dime a dozen. I mean, right, you can find one. I don't really care about that. Long snapper's a different thing. I'm good with that. You need a good long snapper. It's an important position. But, I mean, they got a lot of places that they need to fill holes, and I just don't think you can do that all in the draft. That's why none of this makes sense to me. But, again, it's Monday. I'm trying to stay calm, and trying to stay in place, and be reasonable.
And we did not expect we did not expect the Cowboys to be major players on day one. And they haven't been. And Jerry told us they weren't going to be. But your head's ready to explode because you see this team get better, this team get better, this team get better, this team get better. And the Dallas Cowboys, they've re-signed their long snapper.
So instead of the Cowboys stealing day one of the NFL free agency market, it was the Houston Texans that did that with a shocking trade. Shocking. Laramie Tunsil headed off to the Command Skins.
Yep.
And that, to me, is shocking. And there's some I've seen some tweets from some Texans players that aren't really happy about that. And look, you shouldn't be happy. I mean, that's a ballsy move from Nick Caserio, who obviously is just going to revamp that entire offensive line. That's got to be the plan. Just frustrated with it, you just say, the hell with it, we're going to start over.
Well, I look at a guy like Laramie Tunsil. He is the highest paid offensive lineman, is he not? Any pledge? Is he still the...
He's the highest paid Texan.
All right. And
when he signed his deal, yes, he was the highest paid. I think he's behind like Trent Williams now, maybe.
So he's one of the highest paid offensive line. Can I say it that way? That's accurate. Now, a lot of penalties last year. A lot of penalties. He hurt that team a lot, although great at pass protection. You look at the Command Skins and the offense they run with Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury at the helm, that's as the OC, that's a great move for Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Washington trying to keep up with Philadelphia. But I look at what the Houston Texans have done, and I'm waiting for the next move. I mean, this is a big move, but also a major void that the Texans now have to fill. And I don't think that Nick Caserio makes that move without the replacement in mind, with something there in mind. But what that is, I'm not sure yet. None of us do. I mean, following the Houston media types, they're all trying to figure it out too. What is the next move that's going to go along with this? Because you don't ship out a Laramie Tunsil without a splash replacement. You can't say, well, we're going to draft a new tackle and hope that it works out. That works for the Cowboys, but that doesn't work for 31 other NFL teams that know what they're doing.
Well, yeah, right. There's got to be a plan in place, and I trust that there is in Houston because Nick Caserio is pretty good. And I like the way he plays ball, so to speak. I really do. So they've got a plan in place, and we'll see what happens. But still, that is a ballsy move. And I know everybody was frustrated with Tunsil. Everybody was frustrated with Shaq Mason. I get that. They're not there anymore. So now what are you going to do to replace them? And you need to replace them. By the way, Adam Schefter's reporting the Rams planning to release Cooper Kupp after the start of the new league year, unless the trade materializes, and it hasn't as of yet. And I can't imagine, if they're already saying they're going to release him, why would you offer a trade?
Well, because, for a 7th-round pick,
perhaps
you don't have – it's this what Caserio did with Christian Kirk. Although Cooper Kupp's salary is way too high. That's the reason why they're not bringing him back. And reading the comments that Cooper Kupp made over the weekend, there's no hope of him even re-signing with the Rams at a lesser deal. I mean, apparently he begged is the wrong word, but his conversation with Sean McVay was, is there anything we can do? And the answer is no, we're moving on. And then they bring in a Devontae Adams. So Cooper Kupp's time in Los Angeles is over. Where does he end up? And I thought he would be a good spot for the Houston Texans until they made the move for Christian Kirk. Although if the price is right, maybe he ends up there. Cooper Kupp still thinks he could play for 4 more years. Feels like he's getting better. And his quote, when I watch myself on film, I see myself ascending while everybody else thinks I'm descending. So maybe you're the only one that doesn't realize it, Cooper, that you're done, especially at the salary that you're commanding. But he still thinks he could play another 4 years in the NFL at a high level.
Well, look, if I'm a team that needs a wide receiver, I would take a chance on him. I mean, I think I would if you can afford that. Teams that I've heard mention are the Chiefs. The Chargers are one of them that could be interested in a Cooper Kupp. So it's going to be interesting to see where he'll land. He'll land somewhere.
The Chiefs are interesting after today they lose Watson to the Houston Texans.
Look, he's going to end up somewhere. I don't think there's any question about it because people are going to want to see, all right, you say you got some left in the tank, let's see it. We'll sign you for a year or whatever the case may be. But he's just been too good not to take a chance on him, and somebody will take a chance on him. So, but I'm not trading for him now. I mean, I'm not unless you do pull off a Caserio kind of thing. Yeah, I'll throw in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich here. Let me have him. And, I mean, that could be it. But somebody will take a shot on Cooper Kupp. By the way, the MILFs in Miami.
What?
Yeah, the MILFs in Miami.
Uh-huh.
Better be careful. Former Broncos quarterback Zach Wilson has reached agreement on a 1-year, $6 million, fully guaranteed deal that could grow to $10 million with the Miami Dolphins.
Wow. He's going to Miami?
Going to Miami.
Wow.
Chock full of moms.
And potential growth.
Yes. Good for Zach. Got him a fully guaranteed contract.
$6 million.
$6 million.
Zach
I guess he'll
Wilson
back up Tua.
In Miami.
Good chance he can play.
There is a good chance he can play.
Yeah, Miami's taking a hell of a chance. Lots happening today. Even the Dolphins making a move.
Here's one to kind of keep an eye out. Browns, apparently, according to Adam Schefter, have notified defensive tackle Dalvin Tomlinson that he'll be released at the start of the new league year, designated as a post-June 1 cut, but can't officially sign with the new team at the start of the league year on Wednesday. That one feels like it could be a Cowboy-type move to help that defensive line.
Could be.
Although, with Jordan Lewis gone, I think the priorities that the Cowboys have on what they need to do free agency certainly do change. Let's talk about that coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Before we talk about that, let's talk about something I like a lot. That's my Kinetico Quality Water Softener. Again, waking up in the morning, getting in the shower is just, it's a new adventure. It really is. It's a lot of fun. You know, it's like being in Disneyland. Honestly, now, I jest, but it's a game changer. I'm telling you. You get in the shower, you feel cleaner. You put on the clothes, then they feel cleaner. You go and you get some orange juice in a glass, it's cleaner. Everything is better with a Kinetico Quality Water Softener. It is outstanding. Look, it is the most popular water softener on the market. We've been serving San Antonio and South Texas for over 50 years. Everything is made in America. And the thing I love about it, you don't plug it in. It doesn't run on electricity, but it still provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This thing is a game changer. And right now, they're making it awfully sweet for you to buy your own Kinetico Quality Water Softener because for a limited time, you are going to get a free reverse osmosis drinking station that they will install at your kitchen sink. That is fantastic. $400 off, trade-in of your old water softener, free money, 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. You can't wait. This offer can't last long. Call Kinetico of San Antonio and the Hill Country. The number to call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at KineticoSA.com. You know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Kinetico.
Ready for the ultimate sports fan getaway? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is headed to Vegas, and we're bringing you along. Why? Because watching the games from your couch in sweatpants just isn't the same. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz for a mega March weekend you'll never forget or possibly remember. We're talking Vegas here. March 27th through the 30th, we're hitting up Circa Las Vegas for opening day. And the second weekend of the tournament, a.k.a. Sports Heaven, baby. Thursday, March 27th, the party starts with baseball's opening day at the world's largest sports book. That's right, big screens, big games, and big opinions from Jason and Joe. It's basically like watching sports at home, but with no chores and way more pools. Speaking of pools, dive into 6 of them at Stadium Swim and catch all the action on a 143-foot screen. Lock in now. Go to CircaLasVegas.com. Use promo code BLITZ and party with Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, pools, Vegas. What could possibly go wrong?
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Hi, everybody. It's Joe Reinagle. You know, now is a great time of year to get your roof inspected and ready for our crazy spring weather. Be it hot, cold, rain, or hail, who knows what Mother Nature has in store for us this year. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. You know, your roof protects your home and your family. A quality roof overhead means comfort, confidence, and certainly peace of mind. Now is the time to get your roof ready for spring. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
Do you ever scroll through social media only to find yourself bombarded by bad news, hot takes, picture-perfect families, and yet another humbling professional update? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing, but imagine how you would feel if you spent 45 minutes focused on how you are doing. At Cerebral, they make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. The best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs, and just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral is here to help you build a strong foundation on your overall well-being. Take that first step today. Go to Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for Mind Time.
Wow! Most cars and trucks can get premium ceramic window film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint, starting at just $199. Don't wait! Protect your ride today. Our competitors charge hundreds more, but at Mother's, you get the best quality and value. Call now or visit motherswindowtint.com to schedule your installation. With up to 60 different film options, we've got the perfect fit for every car and budget. Stop by one of our locations and see the difference for yourself. Want to boost your vehicle's security? We've got you covered with advanced systems starting at just $399. Call 210-213-2118 today and ask about our alarm specials. Since 1984, we've been the home of the tint and alarm special. Don't wait. Visit Mother's Window Tint today. Call now or go online to book your service. Your car deserves it. Mother's Window Tint. Since 1984. Call or visit motherswindowtint.com. That's motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mother's and save.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
San Antonio, are you ready? The 2025 NCAA Men's Final Four is coming to the Alamo City. The NCAA Men's Final Four Fan Fest, presented by Capital One, brings fun for all ages. Fan Fest is a sports wonderland of interactive games with celebrity and athlete appearances, giveaways, and much more. Come ready to play April 4th through the 7th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. The event is free for kids 12 and under, Capital One card holders, military personnel, and 2025 Final Four ticket holders. Visit ncaa.com/men's Final Four.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Twitter's working, so you can get us on Twitter, at Joe Reinagle 210. At Jason Minix. You can come hang out with us at the golf course, Golf Club of Texas, April 14th for a spring golf classic presented by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer benefiting the Pan American Golf Association. Get signed up at sasportstar.com. Your foursome is $400. That's $100 a player. Brought to you in part by Ansira.com and PPL Motorhomes. Going to be a great time. Joe has called ahead. The weather is going to be perfect.
It's going to be fantastic. It always is. And the beer will be flowing because Beer Santa will make sure of that.
That is
Flight
correct.
by Yuengling will be out there flowing away. Be food, there'll be scenery, there'll be everything you can imagine on a golf course. So come on out and have some fun with us.
There might even be some good golf.
Well, I doubt that, but that's okay. That's secondary.
Well, it depends on you when you get signed up. And when you're looking at like, I don't know, after a couple of holes, you probably won't be able to see anyway.
Yeah, you probably won't. Doesn't matter.
Which is a good thing.
It's all for fun. It's to have a good time, come out and play. And well, if you win, you win. Fantastic.
Well, we know you're going to cheat.
Of course.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
You didn't get to play any golf this weekend.
No, I didn't. I didn't play any golf this weekend. I was judging a chili cook-off on Saturday, which was a blast. And then I got grandpa duty right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is interesting because Case, who is my grandson, Maggie's grandson, obviously, is in for a few days. Mommy had to go to on a business trip. Dad's on a business trip, so we're watching the young man.
Okay. A couple of things, because I forgot to ask you until you just brought it up during the break. So my wife's going to say, how'd it go this weekend with the baby? So 20 seconds. How'd it go this weekend with the baby?
It went great, actually.
Perfect. That's all I need.
Yeah, it went great.
Did you change a diaper?
No. I did not, and I have no plan to do that.
Did you get any sleep?
I did. Yeah. I slept like a baby last night. Well, you know, Mom brought him in on Saturday, and she spent the night and then left on Sunday. So she kind of took care of him on Saturday night, so it was fine. And then last night, Maggie, we've got him set up in the guest room. Right?
Yeah.
And he's got one of those monitors and stuff, but Maggie wanted to, so she slept in there with him.
Wait, so you slept alone last night?
Well, me and the dogs, we just sprawled out.
The dogs actually stayed with you and they didn't go find Mom?
Nope, they stayed with me. They don't want anything to do with that kid. Are you kidding me? The dogs are like, I don't know what's going on here or what the hell that thing is, but
there's not many things in life that would steal Maggie's attention from those dogs.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely true. Although, this young man has Maggie wrapped around his little finger.
Well, of course.
Yes.
What is he, 4 months old now?
He is, I guess, November.
Yeah, give or take.
Yep. Good baby, though. He really is. He's a good baby. He only cries when he's hungry. That's it. Kind of like me.
You.
Yeah.
And me. Why have you not changed a diaper?
I have no desire to change a
I didn't
diaper.
ask if you had a desire. I don't know anybody that does, but it needs to get done.
Well, and Maggie's been right there to do it. She's been great.
You're not helping?
Oh, I'm helping.
Doing what?
Well,
staying in the other room?
I feed the baby.
You feed the baby?
I play with him.
You play with him?
Yeah.
What does that mean? You put him next to you and make sure he's breathing?
No, we have this like little swing thing that he's in, and there's a little deal where he's got stuff hanging down that he can play with. Yeah.
Is it the swing thing that swings itself so you don't have to do anything?
Well, it swings itself. Yeah. Absolutely. This thing is like, I want one. I don't know if they make them for adults or not, but it's like a nice one of those nice chairs, and it just goes back and forth. And I'm like, man,
you want one of those?
I want one of those.
I think they probably sell those.
They make them. They're called Lazy Boys.
No, but the Lazy Boys don't swing.
Well, you just need a hanging
They
chair.
do?
Yeah.
You can get a rocking one.
I don't want to rock. I want to swing.
No, you can buy it. They're called hanging chairs.
They are?
Yes. My daughter, when she moved out to Phoenix, she wanted one.
All right.
And it was much more of a chore and challenge to find one that works in her apartment. Most people have those on their patios. But yeah, you can get a hanging chair. It's not hard. You can
I'm going to have to do that.
Probably find one at IKEA.
I'm going to look at
or Amazon. Amazon will have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I want one. It just goes kind of just.
Well, and again, you can go to the adults sites and find all kinds of swinging chairs.
Oh, you can? Really? I didn't know that. Wait a second.
It wasn't that funny, Pledge.
Wait, I'm just wondering. I mean, so you have one or what?
I don't have one.
Well,
no.
how do you know then, Jason?
Because Renee just wrote that on YouTube, and I've seen movies.
Well, Renee. Yeah. Renee probably has one. I didn't know there were adult swings like that. Really?
You need to come out from under the rock from time to time.
Well, maybe. Or what do I need to get on the internet?
Probably. Probably. It's not 1995 anymore.
Well, it's not. I'm good. But this would be nice. I'm going to look for one for adults.
Anybody have any links to adult swings? Send them to Joe at Joe Reinagle 210 on Twitter.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'll take a look. Why not? Can I do that in Texas?
Well, it's not Pornhub.
Okay, well, I'm just wondering.
I mean,
you said adult swings.
I mean, no, but again, you're not watching movies of what other people have done in the swing, so I think you can, without a VPN, search those on the internet here.
I will.
The comments on YouTube are fantastic. Make sure you subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. So on ESPN here in our studio, I just keep seeing every time I look up, there's the red flash, breaking news, and I'm tired of it being about Garrett Cole. All right, Cole. The Yankee pitcher needs Tommy John. Get me back to the football news. And again, my anticipation is the Cowboys aren't doing anything. And so far, they've lived up to the expectation. I was kind of hoping they would surprise us all and actually do something. And they haven't. Although they told us they weren't. And expectations, they wouldn't. But at some point, they've got to do something. And with the loss of Jordan Lewis, does that change their priority approach to free agency when they look at defensive backs?
Well, I think it has to, doesn't it? But every time I think it has to, Jerry says, "Ha, hold my beer."
Yeah.
And nothing happens. Now, again, it is just Monday, so I'm trying to give Jerry the benefit of the doubt because I think it was later in the free agent period, wasn't it, when they went out and got Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks?
Yeah, and they could make some trades like that.
Sure.
You still look at Drake Greenlaw. Cowboys rumored to have interest in him. He was one of the teams. He has not signed anywhere yet, so that's a possibility. They were linked to Tavarius Ward, but he has signed a massive deal with the Indianapolis Colts. Now, you could go glass half full with this to say, all right, if they were in the mix for Ward, does that mean they're actually opening up the purse strings and willing to spend money? Clearly, they didn't get that deal done, but if they were being linked early, they were at least in that conversation for a while.
They must have been. You don't know how deep in that conversation they were, but sure. And then with Dre Greenlaw as well, they've been rumored to him, and we haven't seen anything on him. So maybe that's a possibility. To me, that would be a great free agent move for the Cowboys because they need that position as well. So we'll see. I just don't think that they can get by just drafting for the needs that they have. I just don't see it. And so I think that they're going to have to dip their toes into the free agent waters and at least get a couple of guys to help fill some of these holes.
The other one that is a little surprising when you think about some of the deals that the Cowboys did get done, and they were minor deals. You know, their long snapper, they got him done. Marquise Bell is done. C.J. Goodwin is done. What about Rico? Rico's name hasn't surfaced anywhere all day today.
That's true.
From the Cowboys or anybody else. And by all indications, the Cowboys will bring him back and then draft a running back or do something. But the fact that we haven't heard anything about Rico from anywhere makes me wonder about his market. I mean, other than Aaron Jones staying put, nobody else has a deal. And there are a lot of free agents, and you wonder if there's no talk on free agents because it seems like the running back market certainly shifted up, and maybe teams are those players are saying, hey, there's a new market for running backs, and the team's like, not for you. And they don't like what they're hearing yet. But it is a little surprising of all the ones that you would think would be an easy deal to get done. Rico, to me, is in that conversation.
Yeah, I don't think Rico's a $10 million a year guy.
No.
The way Tony Pollard was moving off to Tennessee. So if the Cowboys want to keep him, I would imagine that that's something that they can get done pretty quickly, and maybe that's why they're not worried about it. And the fact that nobody else is talking about this guy right now, at least that we know of. So I think Dowdle's in the Cowboys' back pockets, and I don't think they're too worried about that. Again, what is it they are worried about? And what are they going to do? And how are they going to take care of some of the things they need to take care of? And again, I'm trying, Jason, and you're trying to stress me out here. I'm telling you, it's only Monday. It's Monday. I'm trying to stay calm. Now, if we get to Thursday and nothing's happened, then I might my head might explode.
It might be next week. I mean, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm just saying.
The Cowboys will wait till next week and pick up somebody. I tell you what, the Carolina Panthers are spending a lot of money.
They are.
NFL just announced Tershawn Wharton gets a 3-year deal worth $54 million, $30 guaranteed for a defensive lineman going from Kansas City to Carolina.
Wow. Yeah, been a lot of teams active. That's for sure today. So, again, though, I think the Texans stole the day with the trade of Laramie Tunsil. To me, that's the biggest move of the day.
But, again, if you're the Texans, that's a major subtraction. You know, if you're Washington, if you're a fan of the Command Skins, you're celebrating because you've made that offensive line better. That was a major move, but that doesn't make the Houston Texans better by any stretch.
No.
So what is the next move for the Houston Texans? And the Texans have had a solid day with some, as Steven would call them, selectively aggressive type signings. Not necessarily what you would expect on day one, but the Texans are able to get those done. But trading away a Laramie Tunsil and the majority of the value in return is the second and fourth round pick next year. What are you doing to help this offseason, this year's Houston Texans team, especially when you look at the reaction from their players on social media? That is not going to be a popular move inside that Texans locker room until, of course, we find out how he's being replaced. Can that generate some new level of excitement amongst the players and the fans? Because right now you've just gotten rid of one of the better left tackles in the league.
Yeah, I think, though, if you're one of the Texans players and you've been there with Nick Caserio and seen some of the things that he's done, I mean, you have to kind of trust the process in this case. Because I would, anyway. You may be upset with what happened today with Tunsil, but you got to trust the process and believe this guy knows what he's doing, or at least he's got a plan in place to know what he's doing. But again, your offensive line was bad last year. Now you've lost two guys from that offensive line that you have to replace and hope that are better. Tunsil's going to be tough in that respect. Shaq Mason was just a disaster. So, but you got to trust, I think. I think you have to trust Nick Caserio to do the best thing for the team because he has been doing that. You got to give that guy a lot of credit, and I think he will. And I think the Christian Kirk signing before this whole frenzy started, I think would tell you that. I think it was a great move for them, a guy that you can trust, a guy that you can depend on. And C.J. Stroud, when he needs somebody to get open for a first down, I think Christian Kirk is your guy.
And I'm trying to think, when the Texans made the move to go trade for Tunsil, wouldn't they give up 2 ones? to get him, 2 1s and a third, 2 1s and a second, 2 1s and a third. They gave up a lot to get that guy.
Yeah.
They got a lot of use out of him. But as Pledge pointed out earlier, if he was trying to get a new deal soon, like now, get rid of him. Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun week.
It is going to be a fun week, that is for sure. Do we have one more set of tickets to give away? You want a 4-pack of tickets to go to the Gunslingers home opener coming up March 22nd? Since Pledge is getting ready for his show, we'll make it easy. Caller 4, those tickets are yours. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Rob and AJ tomorrow morning on the Morning Huddle, 6 to 10. We'll have the latest on free agent frenzy. We're back tomorrow at 2 with who knows how much breaking news. Extra innings with Pledge next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
To the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
The St. Patty's Day parties at the Roo Pub are legendary, and this year it will be the biggest ever, spanning 2 days. Sunday, March 16th, it's a crawfish boil, all you can eat for $10. Then on St. Patrick's Day, Monday, it's a block party. The green beer will be flowing with live music starting at 2 with Irish Goodbye. Finding Friday takes the stage at 5. DJs inside both the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant. Plan now to celebrate St. Patrick's Day the right way at the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been. Because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Made in America. Highest quality. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softener. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway.